Good morning, lovelies. Monte-san here, your favorite scholar. It has been a few days. I put on a bit of a brave face for the collab, yesterday's crab game collab, which was amazing. God, everyone was hilarious to be with Loki and Zom. And of course I dragged Uni and A10 and Toy Times. Hello, thank you for coming. Happy to have you here. But yeah, I did want to talk about this with the lovelies more one-on-one. If you guys have seen on Twitter, a friend of mine passed recently, and yeah, it's astounding how much like support I've gotten, right? How much support all of us have gotten. Yeah, I don't know. I've done a lot of my processing like Friday when I learned. But then I remembered. I kind of forgot, honestly. I remembered. Oh wait, I have a visual novel about death and letting go and coping and grieving. And I thought maybe this was a bad idea, but I could also see it as, you know, a good way to process stuff, right? I'm glad my fan art made you happy. Yes, Toy Times. God, I had mentioned this in Discord, right? But like I so rarely get fan art, so it really means a lot. Thank you, and I needed to pick up. Vander, hello, thank you for coming. And Sakura, how goes? Going better. We will see if I cry by the end of this. So I had heard good things about Necrobarista, right? I like VNs like this, the more somber ones, which apparently like coffee and or drink themed, because I also kind of want to do Valhalla. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Sorry if I'm out of source. Yes, I very much. I came into this thinking, oh, you know, I do want to kind of like talk about that thing with the lovelies, and but the moment I hit start stream, all of the words kind of like left my head. I mean, if it helps you process, you should just go for it. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, and I do feel bad that I didn't really interact with her too much, but Zathurnalina was a happy person. That was her core. She was happy. She wanted to make other people happy. She did VTubing because it was something she got to share with other people. And I want to do right by her. I want to make other people happy. I talked to a friend of mine, Kai Chizuru, and they had almost kind of like reminded me of like, while I might not have interacted with Zathis too much, I'm sure she would have seen me as a friend, you know, and what she would have wanted for us to move forward and make other people happy. So that's what I want to continue doing. That is, if I can spend the rest of my time being Monty, just helping other people and making them as happy as Zathurnalina did, like I'm doing right by her. God, I'm already kind of fuck. Okay, wings down. Let's get into this before I start crying. Before we fucking get into the game. I'm sorry. I'm sure y'all didn't come in for you wanted entertainment and not happiness, but I don't know. So as long as you remember her and you live your life not only for her but yourself. Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not to say that, you know, her memory is going to like linger over me, but yeah, I did a bad job of explaining that, but no, I get what you mean. She'll be happy. Yeah. I mean, as long as I mean, that was her. You know, as long as we're happy, she's happy. It's fine if you need to say something. Say yeah. I'm glad you guys are understanding. Yeah. I miss talking to the lovelies. Agrippa, hello, hello. This is something you need to process. Yeah. Yeah. There were a lot of us in a Discord server when we first found out. Just we were all talking about how we had met Zathi, or like how she had impacted us, and a lot of us actually had the same thoughts, right? Like we always had some excuse, or we were busy, we couldn't meet the streams, or we were introverted and we just didn't reach out as much. But I'm sure Zathi would have appreciated the time that we spent with her, right? And that's something that's a mentality we need to have as well. Honestly, your streams will make me happy any day. Thank you, Toy Times. Oh, that really does mean so much. Okay, fuck. When I set out to be Monty, I told myself like I'd be an open book. I would not shy away from the tough topics, because I know a lot of at the time I know a lot of streamers didn't want to be a downer on stream, and I was like, no, the lovelies are gonna get me. And now I see why people kind of like wouldn't want to shy away from it. It's maybe not. I don't know. I wonder if it is a coping mechanism, like not wanting to put a brave face on it. I did a little bit of that. I did a lot of that yesterday. Just kind of like put my streamer face on and had fun with friends, which was nice. But I didn't. That wasn't me with the lovelies, That was me with the collab, and then the lovelies got to enjoy that. I did really appreciate the social energy, though. I think I really did need that. But now truthfully, I think I'm streaming this just for myself. I could use the message this sends and the processing, but yeah. So with that, let us get right into Necrobarista, the final core. I have heard this is a short game. It's like 3 to 4 hours, but they've added multiple like kind of expansion packs. So at the very least, I'm gonna push through to finish the main story today, and I'm sure I'm gonna fall in love with it, and I'm gonna want more later. So we will get right into it. It's so charming, man. Eats, hello, thank you for coming. A lot of what drew me to Necrobarista originally was like the what was it? The art style was so stark, right? It looked I don't want to say anime, but like it was oh, hello. They thought of the faraway grave on the plain. They thought of the comrade who came not again. Wait, that does not rhyme. They lifted their glasses and sadly they said, oh shit. We drink to the name of the mate who was dead. Henry Lawson. Too bloody damp down here. I know we're underground, but I don't suppose there are any windows we could open. There's a ventilation duct in here somewhere. Maddie, mind opening up, get some fresh air circulating? Other end's blocked right now. There's a dumpster sitting on top of it. You have to grin and bear it. Oh, this is creepy as shit, actually. Can we hurry this up? Calm your farmo, man. You're well aware it takes a while to set up. I don't appreciate your tone. Sorry. At the very least, can we turn some lights on? With all the rubbish you scattered around the place, I'd like to at least know where I'm putting my feet. Is this how she died? Did she fall? Ashley, would you mind? Oh, light. Thanks. Wow, this is not at all the direction I was expecting. You're more organized than last time, I see. Practice makes perfect. Hey, Maddie, how much more wire do we need? I think that's enough. Great. Wait, oop. What did I do? I must have, How did I? Oh, okay, if I scroll up, I will rewind. I understand now. Great. Now, Che? What's up, Lopi? Found you a chair. Ah, thank you. So, this whole thing, surely it's not legal, yeah? Maddie wasn't clear on that. Yes, the council found it confronting. For a good reason, I suppose. Because it utterly upsets natural order, mate. It's not just bureaucracy. Shush you. Most rules can be bent after all. Ugh. And Maddie has a particular fascination with breaking rules. As I'm sure you've realized. Hey, don't give her all the credit. Ugh. Is this related to her gambling for time? So, the transfer was the same sort of magic we're doing now, yes. Small scale though. Doing it on a larger scale requires a bit more preparation. The council successfully suppressed all available information about it though. For a good reason. What happens if something goes wrong? Well, you don't tend to mess it up more than once. Or try it again after you fail, for that matter. Stubborn scholars notwithstanding. What do you even call this sort of magic then? Might it be necromancy? Question's irrelevant, because it's banned. Extremely cool, that's what I call it. Well, by definition, it's a conduit ritual. But hey, we're among friends, so we can call it what it really is. Necromancy. Shit, oh, this is tense. This is not at all the vibe I was expecting going in. I already love this. It's taking me a little bit by surprise because I have to click to progress, and I'm not sure at like what point is it a cutscene or if I'm in control. From your lazy memories, a certain word calls out to you. Necromancy. You tried desperately to remember what it meant. Necromancy. What? Oh. Oh, fuck. This fragment of a memory stays with you. Hey, is this a horror game? Fuck me, dude. Piece together the past. Remember what transpired. And never forget. You are scattered, practice, bureaucracy, fascinating, forbidden, disheveled, active, this messy. Oh fuck. I fucking love it. Okay, wait, hold up. Can we change the, let's see here. Play controls. Yeah, let's bump that up a lot, please. There we go. So, what is this? We're going back. Oh, we've got invisible wall. I actually thought the invisible wall would be over there. Let's see. Ah, the music. I'm loving how much foliage there is. Even if it's not much, but oh. Very Tree of Life vibes. Press and hold left click to inspect a memory. Memory house rule. Oh. Wait, I wanted Maddie's rules. We welcome both living and dead. Patrons will be served in the order they arrive. Don't ask who's alive. It's rude. If someone wants you to know, they'll tell you. 3. The dead have 24 hours to spend within the premises before moving on. Strictly enforced. No. No, we don't have Wi-Fi. Report broken items and other anomalies to staff. We can't clean up your broken glass or spatial rift if we don't know about it. 6. Don't feed the idler. They can't eat, and offering food just reminds them of that cruel fact. Maddie's, huh? Oh wait, no, there was another name that I had already forgotten. Oops. Don't ask who's alive. I know the barest amount of the plot here, but I love this already. Part 1. Where's the liquid physics? SMH. The terminal. Carlton, Victoria, Australia, 3053. Excerpts from online reviews. Pretty unremarkable coffee. Barista speaks Chinese, but exclusively uses it to mock people to their faces. I am very self-conscious about my top hat now. Observed little girl running around cafe with knife, unsupervised. Came down with deep sense of ennui after visiting. Was rudely told to stop being a big dweebus after complaining about burnt taste in coffee. This coffee is some of the best I've ever had. 5 stars. Disclosure, I have no taste buds. The door closes. There's something about like the camera angles and the art style and like the freeze frames that is, I can't put my thing. No, it's very manga. It reminds me a lot of manga or manhwa. How like purposeful all of the keyframes are. This is, it's striking and it's beautiful. You're striking, man. Hey, mate, you alright? You can see me? Clear as day, yeah? What can I get you? I've been walking around for hours. Nobody was talking to me. I don't even know how I got in here. I think you're fine, it was via the front door. Okay. Right. Where am I? This, dearly departed, is the terminal. I agree, it is very... Yes, Carlton's finest. The departed... Look at that smug! I am here for it. They say our coffee is to die for. Oh, that's a big fucking mood, my guy. So, I don't really know how to go about this. Ask me anything, man. You're not the first disheveled dead guy to drop in, and I'm sure you won't be the last. Actually, I wonder if that's a thing I can click. Hello. This guy has the look of someone who's been through a lot. Yeah. What does everyone else ask? What does everyone else ask? They generally ask, what does everyone else ask? Ah, shit. And they always say that. And then there's the embarrassed silence. Maddie is normally one to just enjoy peace and quiet, but some silences are just awkward. Alright. I get it. Maybe a habit of bullying everyone who comes through, or just the pitiful ones. It's almost exclusively the latter. I guess that's consistent. I always felt like people saw me as a pitiful guy. Sorry, I was just actually kidding there. No, you're right. Fucking sad sack. Boss hated me. Family hated me. Work sucked. Just like everything else about me. Now I'm never even gonna have a chance to make things better for myself. That's it. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. Hey, come on. Now I'm sitting in a cafe for dead people, falling hard in front of the barista. Mate, pull it together. Number 1 rule, no breakdowns in cafe, please. But promise, man, you are okay. I know how it is. Are you dead? No, and I don't know if you read the rules outside, but God, I did. Yes, I can't even get that right. In that case, you also read that you have 24 hours left before you gotta move on to the next place. And I don't think you want to spend them having one big, long, extended panic attack. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, it is, Aleph. Thank you for coming. 24 hours? Ah, shit. What I'm saying is, everything's okay. Just take some deep breaths. We'll sort this out. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a fuss. Cafe's empty. Not like I've got anything else going on. Don't worry about it. Are you sure? I'm kind of a burden. You're not, I promise. Yeah, mate. Let me tell you about the building. It's got some cool history. So, the first time I came here was about 4 years ago. Wait. That it? Oh, okay, bit of a skip. One of these frames is literally just a blank screen, so I thought maybe I skipped over too much. And that's why you should never, ever serve a martini to a dead biker, even if he specifically asks for one. Out of all the possible ways to react to that, that's one I certainly didn't expect. Yeah, no point in seeking eternal vengeance if you're gonna have to leave in a few hours anyway. Kinda strips the meaning of it, you know? No way to tell whether you even care once you cross over. But then again, maybe just being a buzzkill about it. You can go around policing people's reactions to things. I'm still wrapping my head around all this. Death, that is. It was weird to say it, doesn't it? Weird. Yeah, that's the word. So you said most people don't ever find out how they died before they pass? Even if they got murdered or something? Yep. Most people don't die from murder. It's mostly sickness or old age or lawnmower accidents. Well, they call them accidents, but really loads of lawnmowers are possessed by evil spirits. That said, alright, just hold on a moment. You can't just drop that and move on. Possessed lawnmowers? Seriously? Anything with spinning anything with spinning blades attracts them. I see now why Iris dislikes ceiling fans. Garden equipment, blenders, power saws. People scoff at the idea of a robot uprising, like we haven't spent decades arming our machines with blades. I love Maddie's headspace so much. They're a real pain in the arse. Gotta do at least 1 or 2 exorcisms a month on the coffee grinder. I love this frame. That's wild. I mean, it does make a surprising amount of sense when you really think about it. Blenders are scary. They are scary. Blenders, garbage disposals, not about it. So I know I'm breaking the rules again, but how many people in here are dead? Yeah, it's a cafe for dead people. That mean it's everyone? Or are some of these people just really into ghost cafes? Look at that smug. I need you to observe this smug. I already love her. Hello, column A. Hello, column B. Platinum mortals come through, but this is only one of the only crossing points in the country, so we get a lot of your type. That's also why the rent is so high. Landlords, the original rent seekers. Because those vampires. Because those vampires who own the place know we get a lot of foot traffic. Literal vampires? No, like boomers. Like boomers. Landlord class. Same thing, I guess. I love this game a lot. So, to answer your question, there are 9 customers in here right now. Out of those 9, yourself included, I'd say 4 or 5 of them are just passing through on their way to the next place. How can you tell? Once you've worked here a while, you get a sort of sixth sense for this sort of thing. Gotcha. Speaking of sixth senses, I've got one for trouble. You have... you have 2 sixth senses? Hello, Ashley. Ashley had adopted a cafe staff a couple years back, much in the same way that a puppy adopts a squeaky toy. She was the kind of ferociously smart kid who absorbed information like a sponge, but only used it to cause trouble. Today, she was accompanied by the stench of motor oil, and brought with her a look that said, "I'm an invincible genius." Ashley had fancied herself a genius ever since the day that Maddie had invited her to become a spunky sidekick. She was mostly right about that one. Alright, I know that look. Spit it out. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Cut the crap, kid. What are you after? I'm busy dealing with a customer. I'm not really needing any attention. Shut up, Kishin. I need an extra pair of hands, and none of my Ashlings are around to help. Don't you have any clamps? We got a bunch for your birthday last month. Aging a year just means you're 1 year closer to death, and odd things to celebrate. They're all being used for very important things. They were not. I'm pretty sure I saw one on the table upstairs earlier. No, I really need a helper. Ashley, I'm busy. Please. Hey. I could probably. I could. Hey, come on, Ashley. You've got to let us work. I'm not gonna get anything done down here if I have to go upstairs finding the screwdrivers misplaced. Trying to improvise a screwdriver is a good way to end up with stripped screws. He's the right tool for the job. But hey, no dice. What about Che? He can help me. But what about he's emptying the dishwasher? Sound familiar? It should, because I told you to do it an hour ago. Oh. It's really no trouble. Oh, why don't I take this guy? Only thing he's busy with is being dead. Hey, come on, Ashley. I'm not going to argue with this about you. I'm not going to argue with you about this. I'm sure he'd rather relax than be bossed around. Also, manners. We've talked about this. Gotta be more respectful in front of the customers. Please. Please. I'm happy to go upstairs. Really, it's fine. I don't have anything else going on. And I'm super dead. Please. Oh, oops. Wait, what is... okay. Actually, can I change that? Because I keep scrolling up a little too frequently. I can't. Cool. Never mind. I'm happy to go upstairs. Really, it's fine. I don't have anything else going. Can I use space? I can use space, and I'm less likely to fat finger something that way. And I'm super dead. I'm cool with it. I am Keyshawn. Very dead guy. Happy to help. You sure? I can just send her back upstairs. Promise. It's fine. I'd just sit around and be a pain otherwise. Perfect. Come, peon. In follower hierarchy, peons are one level below assistant, one level above minion. We've work to do. Ashley wasn't getting enough attention, but with Maddie's newfound responsibilities, some sacrifices had to be made. That meant the kid would just have to occupy herself more often than not. She still felt guilty as hell about it, and... I reckon this place needs more plants. What the Jesus Christ, Che! You're gonna give me a heart attack, you old bastard. What's on your mind? Head in the clouds as per usual. Did I look like I was thinking weighty thoughts? Excruciatingly so. What's going on? Nothing important. Just my resting bitch face. Nope. This one's different. How so? Your facial expression is reminding me of the time you tried to fist fight that cosplayer. Cosplay is short for costume play, and bad things can happen when play suddenly becomes serious business. Oh, the samurai? The one who barged in waving his gift store katana around and demanding satisfaction after I refused to put 15 shots in his coffee. Weirdly specific. What's it look like? It looks like you just got threatened with 1,000-fold Nippon steel. It's a precious memory, so I remember it very clearly. A mix of deep disgust, you with a high disgust sensitivity, seldom do well in a kitchen environment. Somehow, Maddie manages. A whole bunch of derision, and a tiny pinch of pity. Yep, that's me. What a mood. You alright though? Real talk. I'm fine. I'm actually fine? Fine, or let's not talk about it. Fine. My tips, I'm sorry, I'm really tired, I have to go. Goodbye, Toy Time. Thank you so much for coming by. And again, thank you so much for the art. It warms my heart. The second one. Pharaoh. Offer's still open if you'd like to talk things out. In the meantime, sorry, can I grab that tea towel? My hands are wet. Oh, yeah, here you go. So, did the dishes need hand washing, or? I'm sure I told Ashley to empty the dishwasher earlier. Nah, things busted. Door latch won't close. Might call a repairman. Ashley wouldn't wash with my hand anyway. Her arm would corrode, so I did it. What does that mean? Not a problem. Yeah, fair enough. So, like I mentioned, it'll need a repair unless you want to let Ashley at it. Some people remain stubbornly defiant in the face of plain obsolescence. Replacements are for quitters. I'd called repairman myself, but our landline stopped working last week. We have a landline? Yes, ancient technology. An inelegant tool for a less civilized age. Only wish we paid a bill, though. I don't know if it gets cheaper to get it repaired, or to just buy a new one and give Ashley the old one for parts. Costs are pretty close, all things considered. Hey, don't work too hard. You worry yourself into an early grave. Hey, you spent 50 years digging holes. you want to see a lot of Earth, you can become a globetrotter, or you can pick up a shovel. Sounds like pretty tough work, old man. Ow. Old man. For your information, I'm barely 170-ish. I'm failing to see the inaccuracy. It was during a literal gold rush. Everyone was doing it. Only thing different about me is I eventually started up digging up things more interesting than gold. Only kind of gold I'm interested in is brown gold. Coffee. I mean coffee. Shut up. Okay, so I know it's just another stress in a stress pile, but I think we need to put in an order for more kitchenware soon. Remio, hello, thank you for coming. How you been? Yeah, another thing that costs money. We're beginning to run out of cutlery, though. Summary of Offenses Act 1988, Section 11C. A person must not, without reasonable excuse, proof of which lies on a person, have in his or her custody a knife in public place or school. Keeps disappearing, not sure where. I don't know how long it can wait before we get more. What on the light is that? Don't know if we can afford that this much. Just, you know, everything's a bit too pricey right now. That is the same color as Ashley. These are the same colors as Ashley. And that's what, what was his name? Chai? Is that what Che meant? With, like, if Ashley worked on the dishwasher, her arms would corrode? Is Ashley a ghost possessing a robot? Because that's really cool, but also the fact that, like, you see Ashley's quote unquote body separately from her spirit, that is I love it already. I'm okay. Game looks interesting. I'm loving this actually. The writing, the world building, the art style. Every single one of these frames is gorgeous. I don't know if we can afford that this month. Just, you know, everything's a bit too pricey right now. Doesn't help that the coffee cartels. Well, I can see it. Doesn't help that the coffee cartels keep pushing prices up. I don't think the importer is part of a cartel. They're quite nice. I've seen photos of their kids. You ever spoken to them? They're obviously criminals with the prices they charge. The worst kinds of criminals are the kind that operate within the bounds of legality. Wholesale my arse. And yet we keep buying from them. Well, yeah, beans are good, man. Just everything else on top of them is stressing me out. Yes. I'll happily accept the blame for some of that. It's fine. You don't have to. I know it's all on me. I've just got to figure out how to pay everything off. Everything and everyone. Shifty counts of F and the doubly shitty time that we owed him are the last things I want to think about right now. I've lost enough sleep over it already. Hey, I'm here to help. I'm worried about you, you know? You've had a lot of responsibility dropped on you in a very short period of time. Maddie's been saddled with great responsibility. She's still waiting for the great power that's supposed to come with it. I can't help but feel a little bit culpable for that. I know. Yeah, I know. And you, I can't thank you enough. It's alright. Pull yourself together. We'll figure it out as a team, just like we always have. I just don't want to have to deal with it, you know? I get it. And I don't want to feel like I'm imposing or interfering too much. I know the cafe's yours now. Even though things are a bit much at the moment, I know I keep saying this, Maddie, but I don't know how much time we have to deal with all this before things start falling apart. Things are already falling apart. But you're gonna have to face reality at some point. You know that, right? Che! Oh my god. Yes, I know. I don't need any more reminders from you. Back off, man. The council's always on my mind. I can't escape them. My best is all I can do, okay? Just because you're my best friend and my old boss and my mentor doesn't mean I need you preaching about me how I need to deal with my problems. Because they're my problems now, not yours. Alright? No worries. I'll give you some space. I go check on Ashley. You seen her recently? She's upstairs. Drag the customer up there, talking about clamps or something. I'd better go rescue them and be back in a bit. Yeah, he's right, isn't he? We really could use some more plates. So, we're gonna strap a big old knife stake to it. Make them fight each other. I love it. This is gonna be great. I want to build something that gets put on a TV show, Bro Battle Royale, with flamethrowers on it. You're not gonna put one on this little guy, are you? So, are we in some sort of afterlife cafe? Yes, yeah. So the premise, the terminal, is a cafe where both the living and dead can arrive, and dead people will show up, and they have 24 hours to be with the living for a little bit longer before they move on. Robot fight, let's go, yo! A flamethrower? Probably not. But I want you to record the fight on my phone so we can send it to the producers. Producers have a real thirst for shock. Yeah, sure thing. Let's get this knife attached. Pass me those zip ties. Zip ties and the knife. Knife and my coffee. Are you sure? Who even gave you that? Coffee? Damn it. It's empty. My coffee's empty, Keisha. The word is beginning to vibrate. Maybe it's good that your cup runneth empty, yeah? I think my cup needs to runneth with more espresso in it. How many shots did you put in there? Too many, Keishan. But did anyone ask Icarus how many shots of espresso he had? Yeah, I'm reading a book about Icarus. Imagine being Daedalus and watching your son die doing the exact thing you told him not to. He flew to the sun. I'm cultured. In unrelated news, I have a headache. I think you might want to read a little bit more about Icarus. There's a twist ending to that one. I'm holding a knife, Keisha. No spoilers. No spoilers, I promise. Alright, Shay. Just say hi. Try not to get a knife slung at you this time. I love Ashley so much. Yes, dude. Ashley is my spirit animal. You got this. Hey, hey kids. Intruder. Kishan, my buddy, my pal. Did I get him? No. You missed. Damn it. But wait, you threw it on purpose? Extremely on purpose, yes. I'm fine, by the way. Oh, it's just you. Would it have been worse if it was someone else? Probably. Unless they were an actual spy. Come to see my robot. Oh, I know. Ashley just actually has a robot hand. I see now. You never know who might be watching. Then it would have been good. Hey, I think I'm crashing. Oh no. Is she okay? Did I kill her? She should wake up in about 15 minutes with no ill effects. But you probably shouldn't give her any more coffee. She turns into a real goblin. Not to be confused with the days where she's just actually a regular gremlin. Oh, she told me that it'd make her immeasurably powerful. I mean, she's not wrong, but you know, great power, great responsibility, yada yada yada. She's 13. This kid's got plenty of energy already. Maybe not the sense of responsibility though. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think the little robot thing we've seen must have been Ashley's colors because Ashley made them. That makes far more sense. Yeah, I don't even know how I ended up sitting here attaching knives to robots. She's very convincing. Ashley's persuasiveness is a mystery. It clearly can't be logic, eloquence, or charisma that causes people to do her bidding. You don't have to tell me, mate. She basically lives here. Her parents would kill me if they found out she nearly killed me. Pretty good blind throw, though. Makes me proud in the weirdest ways. Did she learn from the best? She did, but the best definitely wasn't me. Maddie's pretty deadly with knives. Loves her flashy tricks. Bad habit, probably. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm being very rude. My name's Che. I used to own this place. Now I just sort of sit around and cause trouble and sometimes have knives thrown at me, I guess. But I'm Kishan. And I died today. Fuck, man. What a wham line. God damn. The cinematography though, it's amazing. The like how sudden the wham lines hit you with the change of scene. Shit. Well, also, what am I looking at? What actually am I looking at? Very normal conversation. Can we just vibe here for a little bit? I wanna just vibe here for a little bit. Like, dude, yo. Oh, the drop? Yo. I now have to buy the OST. Whoa, this is really fucking good. Whoa, this is an amazing. Okay, y'all need to buy this game immediately. How much is this game? Necrobarista. I got this for sale. If I alt tab, will bad things happen? Bad things are not happening because I alt tab. Necrobarista. Let us see here. Necrobarista is a mere $20 on Steam. Should any of you wish to support a fucking amazing visionary, an artiste at the height of their talents. I'm alive. Ugh, we got a loud one here. Ah, be nice. You know, it's scary waking up. Big light's coming toward me. I think it's reliving its last moments. Looks like it. I'll add it to the wish list for winter sales. Yo. What is happening? Hello. I do not remember having this many limbs. Join the club, pal. I've forgotten their voices on this screen. We are reborn in a new image. I see. I'm Kepler. Nice to meet you. And I am Jacoby. I am undefined. I don't know if that name will stick. Its body is made of a milk carton. Should we just call it milk? They do have different tones. I should have noticed that. Yeah. Hold up. Maybe I should have made their voices more fitting. No, too basic. You call me Goon because I made a Goon box. Okay, so Ashley was. I don't know if I can fit that. So I'm just gonna continue whatever the fuck I'm doing. Ashley was yelling about someone called Lovelace the other day. That's a good one, I think. How does our new friend feel about it? Acceptable? Lovelace is a nice name. That's a really nice name. Nice to meet you, Lovelace. What was that? And can I have more of it? Uh-oh. Wait, hold up. It looked like my rigging was goofing up a little bit. Like it was dropping frames or something. Uh-oh. I love your voiceover, thank you. I mixed up their voices fucking immediately. It was great. This is about true levels of what? Yeah. Wait, no, I didn't read that. During intermissions at the end of episodes, you can freely explore the terminal. Memories are scattered throughout the terminal that delve into the tales of its patrons. More locations and memories become available as you progress through the main story. Wait, so who am I? Am I just like a person? Oh, I don't want to continue just yet. No. Thinking about alchemy the wrong way. Highlighted passages from Thinking About Alchemy the Wrong Way by Sofia Kodorova. Most study of alchemy throughout history can be categorized as either practical alchemy, that is, alchemy which aims to understand the world only as well as needed to fulfill certain utilitarian ends, and philosophical alchemy, that is, alchemy which aims to come to a more complete understanding of the world as it is, without prejudice for which portions of alchemical understanding can be wielded to utilitarian ends. In the modern alchemical movement, there has been a tendency within literature to place a greater emphasis on philosophical alchemy, based on the premise that coming to a more complete and correct understanding of the universe is the best way for us to discover new practical methods for the physical use of alchemy. Much of this is based on this modern scientific movement and post-enlightenment era. Much like our understanding of theoretical physics gives us more accurate models of physical reality, which have real applications in engineering, having better understandings of alchemy on a philosophical level informs our practice of alchemy. The camera changes and the 3D scenario is sublime. Yes, yeah. It's like 2D and 3D at the same time. The aesthetics are the aesthetics are so much of what like brought me to this, and I'm so glad it's living up to it. However, it may be that this focus on alchemy, which places an emphasis on being correct rather than useful, has thrown the baby out with the bathwater. Admittedly, my position here is hardly biased. The fact that practical studies of alchemy have largely been chased underground is the reason that the tome you're reading is self-published, rather than distributed through more official channels. For example, underappreciated in the development of modern alchemical practices is the use of a 5-element model. Early pre-Aristotelian alchemical models were based on, these are difficult words, were based on an understanding of 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Later, hold up. Those are the 5 classical Chinese elements. Later, Aristotelian alchemical models separated elements into 4 categories of earth, water, fire, and air. I think this is taken from actual, like, real life, quote unquote, understandings of alchemy, which is fucking amazing. While this model may be more accurate and reflect an evolution of our understanding of alchemy, it seems to sacrifice a more practical separation of elements in a way that better allows us to understand less tangible things. While wood is not an element strictly speaking, it helps for us to think of it as such. It is actual alchemy. Wow, I'm not surprised to know that like my lovelies are composed of well-read scholars. I bet it's real life dots of development. I'm 90% sure. While wood is not an element strictly speaking, it helps for us to think of it as such. After all, juxtaposing wood against elements such as metal and fire makes it apparent that wood possesses certain soul-like qualities that other elements lack, which might prompt us to question what it is about wood that seems to make it behave like a super element with practical uses beyond the conventional. I have no idea how long this is gonna go, but I kind of fucking love it. There's a great irony in the fact that while these kinds of questions eventually led us to discard the 5-element model, the new model no longer allows for the existence in this sort of question to exist in academic literature. This book serves as my guide to asking the wrong questions, to arrive at the wrong answers that nonetheless seem to work. It is a book for troublemakers and rule breakers. Indeed, the fact that you hold this book in your hands right now is probably evidence you have broken several rules required. That, or you and Rule Enforcer tasked with destroying my work, but for some reason have decided to take the time to read it. Perhaps you are reading in my work in search of identifying information which might lead you to my location, or you are reading to gain a better understanding of someone whom you consider to be an enemy. Perhaps after reading my work, you will realize that my ideas are not so dangerous as you've been to believe. Or perhaps you will realize that they are exactly as dangerous as you've been told. I truly love the world building in this. Like, you've got the alchemy, you've got the real world alchemy, you've got the like in-universe alchemy, in that it is an actual science that is being studied. But layered on top of it, there are sections of alchemy which are fucking banned. And the author is straight up telling like, hey, fucking bet. Like, come at me, bro. Bit of an amateur occultist. I love it. Ooh. I love it, man. I want to know what oh my god, these are so many books. I would love being here. Look at the books, look at the wooden architecture, look at the sun, look at, actually, wait, hold up, actually, can I, wait. This was not here before. This is not at all here before. I suppose that's when Lishan came in, right? Because we came in through this kind of alley, and it was more it was just an alleyway with plants. But despair is what comes to me. There's something so beautiful about that Is that sunset? There's something beautiful about that sunset, but like it's such a tough architecture, you know, devoid of nature and life. Cafe, books, wood, yes, yo. And the ghost tree, God, if I could sit in front of the ghost tree reading books, I would come here every day. But there's something about this with like the contrast is, it's powerful, you know, that our only kind of like source of life is a ghost tree where everyone else is dead. It's so the stark industrialism is, it's powerful. Oh, I need to poke around here more. Crucible product reviews. Mix of rust and nature. Ooh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. Spirit resistance quartz crucible. What kind of spirit does that mean? Of course. With self-sealing lids. Product description. Heat resistant up to 1650 degrees Celsius. Self-sealing lids. What is this music, by the way? I love this. Self-sealing lids form airtight seals around the crucible's round rim. Highly resistant to corruption and spiritual interference. Oh, they mean like spirit and not alcohol spirit. Clear inner and outer covering allow for easy spotting of cracks or imperfections. Gonna get this game next paycheck. Yes! Chizuru, hello. You came in time for another good VN. I fucking love it so far. Thank you for coming. Quality suitable for mixing postings and filters. Average rating 3.5 stars out of 5. Product reviews 5 out of 5. I love this. The covering, despite being coarse, has a textured appearance that gives a silky smooth feel to it. Most crucibles feel sterile and cold, but this one makes for a perfect beverage container when entertaining guests. 4 out of 5. The previous crucible set I used was inherited from my grandmother, who brought them over from New England. Unfortunately, 2 months of speed were not kind to her spiritware, and her crucibles were filled with tiny cracks and micro fractures that allowed unsightly looking soot to build up, leaving them stained with hard gray lines everywhere, looking like they were about to crack apart at any moment. It's a little hard to read that. Can I? Oh no! I will come back to that after. I believe one of these. I want a bit more outline to see if I. White text is not, white text is not amazing, but like around here, that's a little hard to read. And I thought maybe I could have fixed that. She used them for several decades to come, but every time I worked with her and watched them heat up, I was afraid they were constantly on the verge of shattering. Once she used to contain a lost wayward spirit for several days before finding a home for it, and I would get up at night to check the embers under the crucible, and it always unsettled me seeing how fragile the container was. Several times I found myself tempted to tip the crucible over just to see how easily it would shatter under my soft touch. Needless to say, this set is much nicer. They are sterile, and I can keep several in my bedroom without feeling unsettled by their presence. 2 of the crucibles in my set arrived with small chips in them, but I contacted the manufacturer and they replaced them at no charge. The replacements were express shipped, and the process was quick. And the process was quick and painless, so great customer service, and they offer replacements up to 1 year for a price they can't be beat. Sorry, I saw chat moving a bit. Monty, you're one of the two, right? Since you kept dying in person. Listen! I'm absolutely dead. Are you kidding me? God, I need you to know, too, out of the 2 crab game collabs I've done so far, people have been gunning for me, and every time I'm alive, I get blamed for literally everything. This is a magical Amazon review. Yes, dude, they put so much effort into a shitpost Amazon review. I fucking love it. Old mine for 2 weeks and it didn't crack. Decent for the price. 5 out of 5. Received mine in the mail this morning. Can't wait to try it out. So glad to finally have someone selling crucibles at a reasonable price. A brand name one. Costs over $200, which is just outrageous. 1 out of 5. Bought this several weeks ago since it was the cheapest crucible on the site, advertised as spirit resistant. I'm working on a filter for my graduate thesis and purchased 100 of these for lab use. My plan was to monitor 100 different animal spirits with different types of plant matter and compare how different biomaterials affected their vigor over a 90-day period. The first day, I set the 5 with samples of mugroot, feverfew, ginger, ginseng, and golden seal. I placed them in crucibles over low heat, 80°C, and left them overnight. And over the next 2 days, I did the same with all of the remaining crucibles, finishing on a Friday and leaving the lab alone for the weekend. When I arrived back on the Monday, I knew that something was wrong when I noticed a rain cloud hovering over the door. Not uncommon for rain clouds to appear at any time of the year, at any time of day in part of the country, but it's quite another to find a rain cloud localized entirely within the hallway of your research lab. I braced for the worst, but I guess I should have braced harder. Nothing could have prepared me for the smell when I opened the door. I immediately felt my eyes watering and actually found myself choking. It smelled so bad. I slammed the door shut and went to the basement to grab one of the emergency respirators we keep down there. Unfortunately, the respirator did little to mask the terrible stench inside the lab. I opened the first crucible and saw that it was filled with a tar-like substance, and as I studied its inky black writhing form, I felt the air sucked out of me, almost like it was trying to drag me into the abyss with it. I threw it on the floor and the container shattered, splattering the floor with the tar-like substance, which began slowly crawling across the room. I grabbed a fire extinguisher from the wall and sprayed the tar until it was completely covered, and I heard what sounded like a sputtering noise followed by a long gasp and a scream that faded into oblivion. After poking at the fire extinguisher spray, whatever was underneath was clearly quenched. I took the remaining crucibles and placed them in the oven, baked them at a temperature of 1600 degrees for several hours as I sat alone in the lab, contemplating the crudity of existence and wondering what my academic advisor would have to say about my thesis project. After several hours of waiting, I opened the oven and checked the contents of the crucibles, revealing nothing but ash. Whatever it was that had been drawn by the spiritual emissions of my lab work, it was gone from my world, but the memory of that day will haunt me for all the remaining days of my life. 1 out of 5. Do not buy this crucible for spirit-related applications. My wife is one of the product designers who worked on this item. The crucibles in this listing come from a manufacturer called Marsecuary LLC. Back in 2013, they were some of the best hardware you could get for your money, and earned a reputation among hobbyists as great value for anyone working on a budget. In 2016, they did a survey and found that fewer than 3% of buyers were actually using the crucibles for spirit-related applications, and they decided they could cut costs by removing the spirit-resisting properties. However, they found that products advertised with updated ad copy didn't reflect this. They found that products advertised with updated ad copy to reflect this didn't sell as well, so they continued using the old product description, which advertises it as spirit resistant, with the new product line, which is not spirit resistant. I don't know how they're getting away with this. Apparently, the definitions of what is actually spirit resistant are legally murky, and the number of people affected is small enough that they continue to sell well. Stay far, far away from this one, and I warned you. I warn anyone you know of who might buy an item like this that it does not work as advertised. 5 out of 5, nice color. The writing in this is fucking beautiful. It is funny how gun for you too now. Fuck you, 2-0. I still remember the bloodbaths were red like yo. God, this was beautiful. Bully Monty every day. What do you mean? What do you mean? Listen, I'm well aware this is my lot in life. Oh, can I not go up here? This is my lot in life. I'm just I'm the VTuber M. I'm to be bullied in collabs. Yes, I would like it to continue. I missed Maddie's smug face. Now, okay, so I'd heard that this was 3 or 4 hours. We're already an hour in, and this was Act 1. This was only episode 1. So I suspect I'll have quite a bit more to go. Which probably means streams next few days, maybe, depending on if I have time. Man, I'd love to see that. I could use a pick-me-up. I can't promise it will be there. It's kind of inconsistent. Still, though, a hallway that's only there sometimes? How do you get to the kitchen otherwise? There's another slightly longer one that we use instead. It's much less exciting, but on the upside, it's consistently there. I love telling new people about it though. The reaction is always hilarious. I definitely didn't expect to be getting enthusiastic today over a weird quantum hallway. When people start getting nervous about magic, they usually start trying to explain it using science terms to reassure themselves. Something about that has triggered my Google on the phone. Oops. Or enthusiastic at all, actually, because as soon as I stopped to think about it, I realized I'm actually extremely messed up about this. Hello, hello. I understand. Your life has gone very weird, very fast, conceptually speaking. Or, your unlife? I should be better at talking about this by now, shouldn't I? Ugh, geez, that's not a fun one to think about, huh? Just keep talking about the hallway so I can keep my mind off this. To be honest, I'm not sure I could even probably explain a lot of what goes on in here. The building's mildly sentient, and too much magic in its soul for it to not be, really. So, the cafe is alive? Not necessarily. Plenty of things have come to life here, but as far as we can tell, the building itself doesn't really fall into that category. Also, it mostly tends to shift itself in ways that are helpful instead of frustrating, so quantum always. I'm making myself a cuppa. Australian vernacular for cup of tea, an important cultural institution, especially when drunk in the afternoon. You want something? Nah, I'm good for now. Also, what's the barista's name? I didn't actually catch it and I feel like a jerk. Ah, Maddie? She's the owner now, not just the barista. She still makes coffee, of course. But since she's the owner now, she has a lot more to juggle. Why you asking? Got your eye on her, huh? No, I have a boyfriend. Had? Oh, jeez, this is a lot. Can't imagine how he's feeling. Try not to think about it. Okay. Yep. Okay. You want that drink now? I think I want something a little more important than coffee right now. Sorry. Don't enable him, Kishan. Just, I can get you something stronger, mate. Shot of whiskey, perhaps. A neat bourbon will always be the perfect mix of classy yet unpretentious. I thought this was a cafe. Well, it is mostly. We do serve alcohol though, and stronger things on request. Stronger? Like what? Baiju? I cannot pronounce that. Absinthe? Pure ethanol? You think a place like this wouldn't have anything stronger than that? But stronger than pure ethanol? Sure. Remind me later. I might pull out some of my special reserve. Don't enable him, Keisha. Hey, someone's gotta drink it. I know you're not gonna touch this stuff aside from setting it on fire. Excuse me. I have perfectly good reasons for wanting to set a puddle of distilled soul on fire. Yeah. We'll agree to disagree on that one. So, Kishan, what it would be? Actually, I changed my mind on coffee. Can I order something complex? Gotta treat myself on my last day on Earth. I'm after a sugar rush. If we have the ingredients, it shouldn't be an issue. Maddie can whip it up for you. Cool. In that case, can I have a large quadruple shot, double vanilla caramel, no foam, super hot, reverse, coconut milk macchiato. Oh my god. With 2 sugars and whipped cream on top? Maddie? Yes, dearest. Can you? I don't quite know how. Is this real? Oh, is it too much? I was gonna ask for that shot of whiskey Shay mentioned earlier, but it seemed a bit extra. Well, yes. It is too much. I don't even think Starbucks would serve that. Why? Because it's a fucked up order, man. Dang. Every single word of that increased my urge to set the espresso machine on fire so I wouldn't have to think about making coffee ever again. Maddie has all the classic symptoms of being a pyromaniac, but she's definitely not a pyromaniac. Oh, but the whiskey's fine. I do that too. I have a counter offer, which you have to accept. Yeah? I'll make you another double shot long black, and I'll put whiskey in it, but I won't call you a hipster this time. If you decline my offer, on God, I will strip your soul from your body and use it to scrub the counters at closing time. They will smell delicious afterwards, if that's any consolation. Yikes. That does sound like a competitive counter offer. Not the soul thing. I'll take the coffee. My generosity knows no bounds. Normie. Oh, Maddie, I fucking love you. You brilliant soul. So, to conclude, that order sucked because it defies the laws of physics, has a heart attack's worth sugar in it, and it's something only wankers ask for. Is it possible to die twice? Yep. You can die twice if you're brought back from the dead. Or if you manage to be really annoying, to really annoy someone here between here and near place. Which is more likely because resurrection is illegal. Resurrection is reserved for emergencies, and the counselor has very particular definitions about what constitutes an emergency. Many centuries pass without a single qualified emergency. But if you're asking if whether you can get a heart attack or whatever, the answer is no. The life and death has a slightly different meaning here. You can't die from natural causes. It's a bit complex and weird, and we're still in the process of figuring out how it all works. I'm over 200 years old, and I still haven't made proper sense of it yet. Just got some vague ideas. Right. So what's this keeping me from just staying here? Like, already dead. Why do I have to go to the next place? You've got a certain number of hours you're allowed to remain on the edge of the mortal realm. Hours are fungible. Fungible? Yeah, compared to non-fungible. Tokens, which may be non-fungible. They can be bought, sold, and exchanged, generally speaking. But the Council of Death always collects on debts owed to them, and you start running up a debt if you stay here too long. Your soul starts to get itchy, too. Is there any feeling less pleasant than an itch you can't scratch? Probably, but it's still up there. Man, that is amazing world building. That there are actual tradable hours you get after life and death, and you can rack up a debt. What do debt collectors look like? You're already fucking dead. You can't die again, right? But I love this world. I love it a lot. It's not something you want to experience. We've had a few stay past their allotted time, and they've gotten very uncomfortable very fast. It starts with general irritability, then worse things begin to happen. It's a weird thing to wrap your head around. How long do I have before I need to make myself scarce? You got 24 hours. Any longer, we start to pick up the tab, and since you're on our premises. The terminal is a place where bar time has very literal meaning. And as charming as you are, we've already racked up too much time debt from letting people stick around past their expiry date. We deep enough in our hole as it is, hours-wise. And cash-wise, we're extremely poor. We've been a bit too lenient in the past, letting people stay just a little longer instead of gently shooing them onto the next plane of existence, etc. You know the drill. But hey, since hours are fungible, you can always acquire them some other way. There's something happening tonight, actually, that you might be interested in. Seriously? You're still doing that? Shush. You know the council doesn't look on that stuff favorably. Ned said so himself. It draws customers, and it helps shave down the debt. I'll take whatever I can get. And hey, fuck Ned. We have a 13-year-old right here, you know. That's not a yawn by me. She's heard enough coarse language for a lifetime. I'm not too worried about her. She's right, though. What? Every time Ned comes around, he makes you guys really stressed out. As she's at that age where she's learned to recognize when other people are stressed, but not experienced enough to fully understand what it feels like. Maybe not you so much, but Maddie gets nervous and it brings down the mood, man. So, fuck Ned. Goodness, I think you've had too much coffee today. I am crashing so hard now, you have no idea. Like I was crashing early, but that was just a pre-crash. I'm having a double crash or something. All I ask is you try to keep us swearing to a minimum when customers are around. Okay. Does Keyshawn count? It's fine. But my housemates are tradies, so ignore it pretty quick. A great way to save money on rent and never get lonely if you're not attached to the idea of personal space. Are tradies? Were tradies? They're still tradies unless they changed square in the last couple days, but they're not my roommates anymore, because... Hey mates, have I mentioned how much being dead sucks? Cause it sucks, and I feel extremely bad about it. Having a pretty bad time right now in general, to be honest. Yup. Even just adapting your language is a pain, isn't it? Want a proper drink now, without coffee in it? Yeah, that'd be good. The TV didn't say anything about there being a storm last night. Melbourne storm, noun. Somewhat unusual weather pattern.
known for being the only one who's kind to occur below the Barasu line. Huh. Looks like a decent sized one rolling in. Melbourne weather strikes again. I'll go upstairs and close the windows. Yes. Come on, Ashley. Have your workbench while we're there, yeah? You need a bribe? Yes. I have some chocolate hidden away. Acceptable. Oh, this is a fucking mood. I could listen to this for hours. Wait. Dead people can still get drunk, yeah? Why else do you think we serve alcohol? To make money? Well, yeah. Hang on. Do I even have my wallet? Doubt it. I don't, yeah. How does that work? Why do I have my clothes but not the contents of my pockets? A good place for things that don't have a place. Chewing gum, spare chains, nervous hands. Dunno, dude. Everyone's experience is different. Death doesn't follow many rules. Only universal rule I can think of is can't stay. Here, people don't generally come in without the clothes, fortunately. So, about this drink, I guess you're gonna give me straight vodka or something? Why's that? You don't like making complex drinks? Dude, no. I don't like making ridiculous caffeine-like milkshakes for overcompensating soccer dads. I'm happy to mix a cocktail, within reason. Oh, okay. What you got then? She's got everything you can think of. And then some. I could go for a mint julep. Hey, what's that outside? Oh, he's got the Arthur fist. Outside? Some guy out in the rain? Ah, shit. Maddie? Maddie, what's up? Let's get started on that drink. Morning. Hi? Hello, recently departed. Hey, that hat you're wearing kind of makes you look like Ned Kelly? I sworn you were standing outside literally a second ago. So, how'd this one cark it? Good morning to you too, Ned. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, Madeline. Piss off, Nedward. It's not even my full name. Isn't it, Maddie? Chase it was, and he never lies. He never said that. Well, no. But it was worth a try. A try at what? Catch me off balance? Some shit along those lines? Mate, I am so off balance for now that a light breeze would knock me head over ice. Don't push me. Hey, this mint julep is great. Just wanted to contribute that to the conversation. So, you catch the game last night. The Australian Football League provides everyone with a chance to root for your local team, unless you're Tasmanian. No, and I do not care to discuss the export with you, or anyone else. Don't try it. Oof, just making polite conversation. You should try it sometime. Maybe. Not for you though. You've never come in during daylight hours before. What do you want? Nothing much. I'd like to talk to Che at some point, but it can wait, seeing as he's missing. Planning on setting out a search party? Might do. It'd be a shame to lose an old friend by letting him wander onto some train tracks or something. Yeah, well, he's upstairs as I saw. What was the last you saw, Maddie? Tell me. Why are you like this? What was it? Last saw him walking upstairs. So he could be anywhere then. Probably fled the country to dodge the massive time deck you lot were racking up. Some obligations have a way of following you, no matter where you run to. He can't go far. I've got him on a pretty tight leash. And in regards to the debt, it's not your problem. You must not have heard. Not your problem. Che! Your dickhead friend Ned is here. Oi, I'm a distinguished gent, not a dickhead. I'll be down in a sec. Yeah, but you also work for the Council of Death, so even if you're a distinguished gent, it cancels out. Is the Council of Death like a normal city council, except for wherever dead people live? Yes, but the only trash that needs to be collected right now is in front of me. This guy? Me? No, you. You're the trash, Ned. The trash is you. It's you. Trash, Ned, the trashman from hell. Because councils pick up trash. That's the joke. Oh, cool. He's even got a head dressed like a rubbish bin. It's totally fitting. I'm not from hell. I don't care. And to be clear, Ned, in case we weren't already, you are the trash. Yeah, I get it. Do you know how long Che's going to be? I don't know. He was busy upstairs with Ashley. Yeah, I had to have like 5 steak knives from her. I didn't even know we had 5 steak knives. Be quiet there, mate. How long have you been sitting there? Does it matter? Well, your employee is being very rude to me. So if you've heard any of that, keep trying to tell him. My employee, yes. We have some catching up to do. I don't follow. Did she quit? Mandy's not one to back away from a challenge, but if she did, she wouldn't be the first. Did you fire her for gross incompetence? Far from it. There's been a shake-up in the cafe's management structure since you last visited. Oh no. Don't tell me you gave her the whole thing. Okay, I won't tell you. I tried to tell you before, man. Hey, does anyone else like mint juleps? This is great. And I'm nearly done, but my tongue is numb and I'm wondering what the deal is with that. Was there something you want to discuss? I need a drink before we go through all of that. Sure. The usual? Yes, please. Light. How come he gets a garden straw? So, Che, speak me a tale of how. So, Che, speak me a tale of how and why you handed the cafe to this person. Well, every man's got his price. Can my price be a curly straw too? Buddy, I'll give you 2 if it means you stop complaining about numb lips. Yeah, what did you make this with? I couldn't find half the ingredients, so I put in a bunch of baijiu and chili seeds. Got some of the stuff though, so like it's a mint julep in spirit, if nothing else. Does this have any mint or julep in it? At all? It definitely might be lacking mint, and I cannot confirm or deny the existence of the mythical julep. To some people, this place seems otherworldly. For others, this is just the world they live in. You asked for a baijiu earlier though, so there you go. Mission complete. Rezzy, hello, thank you for coming. It is hanging. I am absolutely in love with this game. It is. Part of me wanted to say a good distraction, but I don't think that's quite the right word for it. It is an experience. It is an amazing experience so far, and Maddie is an amazing character. Maddie, I am getting very drunk very fast. Baiju will do that to you. Here, I think you should have a lie down. I'll get you some water. I'm as strong as an ox. I don't need no lie down. Kishan, my dude, you absolutely need to get horizontal as soon as possible. You can sew up in one of the booths in the back. It's nice quiet over there. Oh, fight. I'll win though. Up, just get mate. What is it, visual novel? Yes, this is a visual novel. About the terminal, a coffee shop in which the dead can linger around with the living for up to 24 hours. Also, there's a Council of Death, and this fucking trash can head guy is Ned from the Council of Death, and who the fuck even knows? Bloody hell. Would have been helpful if you told me about this before. Probably. I'm not worried about it. I knew what she was getting to with this whole cafe situation, and it's natural that it might take a while for her to get the hang of running a business. Bloody hell. Bit of a dog's dinner though, isn't it? Ned would know. Oh, for sure. But it'll get better. Like I said, not worry about it. Well, you might want to hold your judgment on that for the moment. I am unfortunately here on official business. Oh. Sounds like a head trip. Yeah. Oh yeah. There were crabs that seemed like the recently departed. I do not understand this game, but I am here for it. I shouldn't have given you the straw then. No, you shouldn't have. I look quite silly. Want me to get rid of it? It's just Maddie. She won't use it to derail our conversation or make you look like a fool or anything like that. Straw? No, I'll get you one right after you have a nap. You can sip the water like a normal person. I'll put it with the dirty dishes then. The sacrifices I make for this job. Hey, you met me through it, so it can't have been all that bad. That was bloody 100 years ago. Man, really? Longer. Time flies when you're immortal, huh? Quasi-immortal. This whole rust bucket still got an expiry date somewhere down the line. Time comes for us all. What's this about immortality? Hey, you should buy more plants. Shut up. Sorry, continue. Immortality? Nothing I trust you with, that's for sure. Oh, you don't want to speak crotchety old me being rude to youngsters in 100 years? Truly, I do not. The far future doesn't need amateur necromancers. Amateur can describe someone who's not good enough to turn pro, but it could also mean someone who's passionate, engages someone just for the pure love of it. You're lost. So, you two heading upstairs. Actually, Ned does, in fact, have something fairly important to discuss with you. Oh, it's about the debt you owe to the council. Yeah, I know. What about it? Maddie, it's time. You owe us over 600 hours. Chase signed a contract. The hours or the cafe. You own the cafe, so you own the debt. And tonight, I've come to collect. Yo, MV, what is this?
Now has come the day. There's nothing left to give. I waited here so long. I listened for your song.
I hope I don't get demonetized for this.
There's nothing left to give. Nothing left to give. There's nothing left to give.
God, Maddie's so fucking cool. God, this is all so fucking cool. What did I get myself into? Yo! Ladies and gentlemen, we have a title screen. God damn it, that was fucking amazing. Oh my god, that was so cool. Alright, I mean it's official. I'm in love with this game. I will marry this game. Zathurnalina, yes! Dude, I need to look that up later. I wanna be able to watch that at my own leisure. That was fucking amazing. I'm a Spoon. Hello. Thank you for coming. Yes. God, this is. Whoa. this is the crabs I was talking to you a bit before. I don't understand this game. I just love every waking moment of it. I love this music far more than this music has no right to be as good as it is. That was kind of intense. Do they do that often? The song and dance thing. Yeah, what do they think they are? They're talking about the OP. Yeah, what do they think they are? Some sort of anime streaking? Is this our like fourth wall break commentary game? Cause I'm fucking here for it. This is amazing. What sort of self-observed Jack has their own theme song? Oh, I love this game a lot. What is this? This near automaton? Don't be such a downer, pal. No, I was talking about the dramatic encounter. Oh, between Nadia and Ned. Yes. Yeah, they've got chemistry. Not the romantic kind, the explosive kind. Looks very cool, yeah! Can't leave them in the same room together or they'll kill each other. Oh, he's crossing his arms! Oh. Mad history? Maddie's just a serially troublesome person from Ned's perspective. Doesn't help that she can't stop herself from pulling pranks on him. No, I suppose not. I mean, he doesn't make it easy either. I don't think he's used to having his authority questioned. She really gets under his skin. Wasn't he a famous criminal? And therein lies the irony of the situation. What a strange world we live in. God, what is this game? Oh my god, I fucking love this so much. Okay, I told myself I'd do this for like maybe 3-4 hours. But at this rate, I just kind of want to keep going. This shouldn't be a depressing memory for any of us. And yet, doodle mode is available. You can now speak to Ashley to access doodle mode. Man, what a powerful angle. Oh, we're up here. Let's see here. Billiards 1. Brad took a sip from his beer. It was non-alcoholic, but there was something about the dry aftertaste that kept him frosty. He leaned over the table and lined up his next shot. He had the problematic 9 ball in the upper right corner. He had a low percentage shot on it if he elected to bank it in, but he had 2 other stripes in the lower left to set it up. If he had an audience... What is this music? This is... Huh. I love this. For a little bit, it sounded a lot like the crab song. If he had an audience, he'd go for a bank shot for sure. He liked a chance to shine. But today, there was no one to impress, no audience for flashy low percentage shots. He took a shot on 11 and 12, and 3 shots later sunk the 9. An easy shot on a 8 sealed the deal. Brad scanned the table. 4 solid bars remained, a dismal performance on his part. Or a stellar performance on the part of Stripes player. That was the problem of playing against yourself. You always won, but you always lost too. Brad chugged the remainder of his beer and added it to his collection of empties, which now stood 5 bottles strong. He took a moment to survey the room. His table was the only of the 4 that was in use. It didn't come as any surprise to him. It was early in the evening, and he'd grown accustomed to spending time alone in his room. He knew when he could come here to be alone, and when the other sharks showed up. Brad grabbed a triangle. It was looped around his collection of beer bottles to set the balls in order for another round. Someone came up the stairs, and Brad looked around briefly, long enough to see a woman who recognized as the dour-faced barkeeper who served him beers and kept him company for the past hour or 2. Several steps behind the woman, he saw an older-looking man. The man stopped in front of the table opposite Brad's and began chalking up the cue. Brad directed his attention to the man. He usually offered people a game when they came up, but the man seemed prepared to keep to himself, so Brad said nothing and tried to focus on his own table. He stepped a break, and the older man coughed as he shot. He hit the cue ball just a fraction of a degree off. It bounced into a rack of the one in his side pockets as the rest of the balls jostled around the table. Stink. Brad didn't swear when playing. Cool. His earliest experiences with competitive billiards had been an environment that forbade obscenities and issued foul penalties every time he let out an involuntary shit or fuck. He'd had to find cleaner substitutes. Break claimed the sound from the old man's table. 2, 3, 4. Brad put down his break cue and picked up the leather-tipped cue that was leaning against the table. 5, 6. Brad chalked up his cue, trying to avoid the tilt from his bad break. 7, 8. He lined up to suit and realized that the man was already fishing out his balls out of the pockets and collecting them in a triangle. Brad did a double take. Had the man sunk the 8 ball after 8 strokes, including break? Brad continued playing his own table, but kept an eye on the old man this time. Happened again. Break. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect, clean, sweet. As the old man began clearing the table, Brad walked over. "Excuse me," he said. I couldn't help but notice you just hit 2 perfect games. Was that?" The man turned to Brad, squinting at him. Brad repeated himself, a bit louder this time. "I was just complimenting you on 2 perfect games. Impressive stuff." The man heaved his shoulders. "Sometimes give it a little bit of luck on your side." "Still," said Brad, "you don't see novices hitting 2 consecutive perfect games." The man offered another ineffectual stroke. "You, want to play a game?" Brad gestured his own table, which was already set up. Most of the people who come here tend to be novices. I've been itching for a bit of competition. Brad paused, but the man said nothing. Of course, if you prefer to play your own table, I don't mean to intrude. But we can play, said the man. Though if I shoot a perfect a 3rd time, you won't get to. I'd be impressed if you could pull that off, said Brad. The older man racked the balls and stepped away from the table to let Brad break. Brad leaned over the table and took several practice strokes before finally connecting with the cue ball. The break was weaker than he expected, but he managed to sink 1 ball. He looked at the table, annoyed, and realized that he hadn't bothered to check if the rack was frozen before he broke. His next shot was straight into the middle pocket. He briefly visualized the trajectory of the cue ball in his mind. He easily knocked the 6 ball in, then bounced toward the front of the table. Brad wasn't confident where exactly the ball would stop, but he was confident he'd be able to do something with it. He took the shot and sick ball went in. Solids. After cue ball started, he found himself with no good options. Brad smiled. Making something out of nothing was his specialty, and after a few moments of eyeing different angles, he set on a shot toward one of the bottom pockets. A striped ball was in the way, so Brad hit the cue ball several degrees to the side, curving its trajectory around the enemy ball. It hit the solid 3 ball, and the shot was made. Brad looked at the man, hoping for some kind of reaction. The man's mouth remained a flat line, but his eyebrows aren't. If anything, the man's lack of obvious expression struck him as a deliberate attempt to not show the response. I don't know why I stumbled over that. They had managed to get a slight rise to it, and felt like sweet victory. Brad made his next shot quickly. An easy straight-in shot in 2 ball, made without thinking about where the cue ball would land. That was a problem for future Brad. But several seconds later, present Brad found himself scolding past Brad for putting himself in such a foul situation. He was scoring hooked. With the cue ball trapped next to the corner pocket, the only angles available to Brad exists in a 60-degree arc. He surveyed his limited options and breathed a sigh of relief as a relatively straightforward bank shot presented itself. It was an awkward angle, but he knew he could coax the 3 ball into the opposite corner pocket. He took the shot, watching as the 3 ball rode compliantly into his designated pocket. Unfortunately, the cue ball went with it, ending Brad's turn and placing the ball in the man's possession. Stink. Brad could have sworn the man winked at him as he fished the cue ball out and lined up a single pocket on the side pocket. The 9 went in, then the 11, then the 12. Brad found himself taking it for granted each striped ball would enter its designated pocket and instead focused on the cue ball. Somehow, that cue ball always wound up in a position that presented the Oatster with the ideal chip shot. Ball after ball fell off the bed, until finally only a black 8 ball, and Brad's solids remained. Fortunately for Brad, the 8 ball and the cue ball were at opposite side of the table, with several Brads in between. The man eventually gave up, and settled for a defensive shot that put the cue ball in behind the 8. Now the table's turn. Brad was 1 cut off from his balls. He lived for shots like this. He took the shot. The cue ball hit the 8, 8 hit the 1, and then 1 hit the 7, bouncing against the front of the table and into the side pockets. Brad couldn't help but smile. Things couldn't have gone better if he planned them. Instinct and muscle memory did what his calculating mind couldn't. Now that the table was conveniently free from striped balls, Brad had no trouble sinking the remaining consecutive shots he needed to close out the game. As Brian lined up for one final shot on 8 ball, he saw the Yoda guy. The man was reacting, he couldn't tell. Brad closed his eyes as he completed the final stroke, as he always did. He wasn't really religious. He stopped going to church with his mom when he was 12, but it always felt right to leave the result of the game to God. Damn, said the old man, as the 8 ball fell into his pocket. Brad flinched. He'd been hoping for some praise from the man for winning the game. Perhaps the damn was all the man was about to offer. Excuse me, said Brad. I don't think we bought to exchange names. I'm Brad. Thomas, the old man extended his hand. I've got to say, said Brad, you're quite a player. Take it you're not from around here. No, said the man. I grew up in Brisbane, retired in Sydney. I'm just passing through. Brad nodded. I figured. I actually grew up in this neighborhood. Played on tables like these when I was a kid, so I know most of the folks on the local competitive circuit. Guess someone like you would have to play competitively, huh? You don't pick up skills like that in a tiny pond. You would be surprised, said Thomas. Man can accomplish quite a bit when given enough idle time. But you have played competitively, said Brad. I used to, yeah, said Thomas. I actually formally retired many years ago, but kept the table at home for practice to keep my mind sharp. Where did you compete? Oh, I toured in England. Wait, said Brad. You were pro? Pro makes a salary, said Thomas. I won enough to cover my travel expenses and make up for the time I spent not working a real job. Brad couldn't hide his excitement. Wait, you said England. Did you ever play the World Billions Championship? Yep, said the old man. I played the World Billions Championship a few years, but eventually I decided the title was a summit I'd never reach. So I quit. Wait, said Brad again. You said your name was Thomas. Are you Thomas Walsh? Indeed I am, said Thomas. You're a legend. I think you might be overstating it, said Thomas. Even when I was at my prime, I wasn't the best. Results speak for themselves. Nah, fuck that, said Brad. You were a finalist for 6 years running. Nobody's ever been that consistent. Even the best pros who managed to run hot burn out after more than 2 or 3 years. Thomas tipped his spear. I've spent hundreds of hours watching your videos, said Brad. I didn't realize there were videos of me, said Thomas. I have tapes of the finals from 1967 and 1968, said Brad. They didn't record them before that, but your last 2 years got recorded for posterity. they're kind of rarities at this point. But I had a coach who had a vault of that old footage. Coach? Thomas arched an eyebrow. Yeah, you didn't have a coach? Thomas shook his head. We mostly just taught ourselves and each other. Sometimes you gotta practice with people better than you, but that was it. Well, I mostly taught myself, said Brad. But after I started winning some regionals, I joined a team that I could get sponsored and have a group to train with. Interesting. Brad waited for Thomas to question further, but no question came, so he decided to continue without invitation. I won the WCBC in 2012. No luck since then, I take it, since Thomas. Brad stammered out. Well, yeah, he laughed awkward. I've never been a consistent player. Not like you, anyway. He offered his sheepish grin. My mom had an album full of article clippings to talk about me like I was some kind of prodigy, the next big thing. Now it feels like I'll forever be a footnote in history. Brad waited for words of affirmation come from his hero. Thomas just took another drink from his glass, finishing off before setting it down next to Brad's empty bottles. Said Brad, feeling foolish. Can I get you a drink in exchange for another game? It'd be a real pleasure. Sure, said Thomas. Give me a Guinness. Actually, make it 2. Brad sprinted down the stairs and returned several minutes later with a tray bearing 2 pints of Guinness. Thomas began standing up at the table for the next game, Brad hovering over him. You know, said Brad, this place is pretty magical. Can you play a game of pool like this? He wasn't sure how to say it, but he figured Thomas knew what he was getting at. I mean, this is the sort of place where anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Not anything. There are limits. Well, yeah. But still, 2 former champs. One coming back from, beyond the grave, so to speak. Not even kind of encounter you expect to have anywhere else. Thomas looked at him. Magical indeed. When I walked up here, I didn't realize you were, well... He ripped his chin. Let's just say I don't meet a lot of pool pros at bars. He took a sip of his beer. You want a break? Sure. Brad broke, and with hands guided by instinct, managed to sink 5 balls consecutively. Like magic, his shots always connected. But some people might buckle under pressure, but Brad's performance always seemed to rise to the occasion. With just 2 striped balls left, Brad knew he was on a streak, but as he lined up his next shot, he took a moment to consider the position of the 8 ball. It was nestled in an awkward position between Thomas's balls, but if he could clear a path to it while sinking last stripe, Brad looked at the sea of balls, and knew there was no way for him to mentally calculate every vector. But instinct had gotten him this far, and he wasn't about to stop listening to it now. Brad took the shot, and the cue ball knocked the last striped ball into the corner pocket. Then the cue ball bounced off the table, back toward Thomas's cluster of balls. Brad grinned in elation as the cue ball hit it solid, which hit another, and another in a chain reaction that sent the 8 ball heading toward the corner just like it wanted. It was headed right toward the corner, but where there were no balls to intercept it. Headed right toward the corner, into the pocket. He stopped grinning. Brad knew with a growing dread that the friction of the cloth wouldn't be enough to stop the ball in time. He watched the impending disaster happen in slow motion, powerless to stop it. The game had been going so well. He'd been about to hit a perfect game in front of his childhood hero, and now he was going to lose in the most inglorious way imaginable, an accidental, illegal, elimination shot. Brad closed his eyes, but not even God could help him now. He didn't need to see it. The sound of the ball plunking into the pocket was enough. He lost the game. That's it. Oh, dang. Part of me wants to wonder what the point of that story was, but I don't think these stories have to have points. Although that does make me wonder, of the 2, who was dead? I honestly still can't tell. There's a lot of memories. Wait, can I go down? I can go down. Okay, there's 2 more. So I wonder if I should continue reading these. These are, I like them, but they're long, and I do kind of want to get to the story. But well, I mean, okay, there's no way I finish it today, right? The next week streams are a little bit goofy. Unfortunately, I will be on a trip. So while I wanted to finish this and Titanfall soon, that is evidently not going to be the case. So I'm just gonna I'll go the marathon. Ashley stepped behind the counter and winced as the floor creaked under her feet. Maddie was nowhere to be seen, but Maddie did possess a remarkably sharp sense of hearing. What is this music? I love this. Luckily, the cafe was empty as Ashley tiptoed to the case where Maddie kept the baked goods. Ashley lifted the glass lid off the case and closed her eyes on this as the scent of yesterday's lamingtons wafted up and overwhelmed her. Ashley had spent most of her life convinced that she didn't like coconuts, but that had changed the day that Che introduced her to lamingtons. Like coconuts. But that had changed. Wait, hold up. To be fair, Ashley still wasn't sure that she actually liked coconut. Chocolate frosting can make anything taste good, but she couldn't deny the cake's irresistible allure. Ashley lifted the lamington in front of the case and gently set the lid back down. She raised the lamington to her lips and opened her mouth to take a bite. Ashley? In a moment of panic, Ashley shoved the pastry in her mouth and sealed her lips. Her mouth was quickly overwhelmed by pastry's thick frosting covering. She did her best to choke it down before turning to face Maddie. Said Ashley, hoping her cheeks didn't betray what's inside. Ah, good to hear, said Maddie. It was a bad sign anytime Maddie expressed pleasure at seeing Ashley. Normally, Maddie wavered between being annoyed at Ashley's presence and being indifferently tolerant of her. Anytime Maddie was happy to see Ashley, it meant work. I need you to deliver something to Che for me, said Maddie, turning to the bottle to pick up a small bottle of something. As Maddie turned her attention to the bottle, Ashley took advantage of her momentary distraction and gulped down the remainder of the pastry. No time to chew, but her teeth wouldn't have done too much with the thick frosting. You're not busy, are you? Said Maddie. Ashley shook her head no. The pastry was no longer in her mouth to create a conspicuous bulge of cheeks, but opening her mouth would reveal thick chocolate frosting that was still probably present on her teeth, so she kept her lips sealed. Good, said Maddie. He's upstairs. Get this to him ASAP. He handed the bottle to Ashley, and Ashley found herself surprised by how light the bottle was. Looking down, she could see that the bottle had thin walls. Within those thin walls, it contained some clear liquid, and its seal was held in place with a metal clamp, hermetically sealed. Ashley turned towards the stairs, holding the neck of the bottle out with one hand and the other side. One last thing. Ashley swallowed her side with a gulp and closed her mouth with her facing Maddie, lips tightly shut. Be careful not to drop it, said Maddie. Thousands could die if you spill any of it. In any other situation, Ashley would have asked Maddie a probing question to figure out what was in the bottle or get some idea of the significance of the test that had been inside to her. Significant enough that thousands of lives held in balance, but apparently not important enough for Maddie to do it herself. But Ashley's lips remained sealed, and she merely nodded and turned around. Lamingtons were not meant to be consumed in a single bite, especially by mouths as small as Ashley's, and the thickness of the frost that lingered in her mouth and the throat made her desperate to ask for some kind of drink, but she dared not ask for one. Ashley looked down at the bottle, unsure of the best way to carry it. The bottle was slightly too large for her to hold with just one hand, and grasping it in front of her with two hands felt awkward. The bottle wasn't healthy, but Ashley's confidence in her ability to carry the bottle without dropping was less than perfect. Should she cradle it under her arm protectively? No, that seemed like it put her at greater risk of falling the bottle. The crook of her elbow wasn't as dexterous as her fingertips. She settled for carrying the bottle with one hand placed under the bottom to hold it weight, with another hand wrapped around the neck to steady it. Ashley walked slowly with the bottle as she ascended the stairs. Maddie hadn't told her that the bottle liquid was volatile, and the bottle was hermetically sealed, so there was zero chance of anything spilling out, but that didn't change the sense of trepidation Ashley felt. Armed with the knowledge that there were potentially thousands of lives at stake, she cringed every time she saw the liquid sloshing inside the bottle, leaping up and lapping at the edge of the seal. Ashley realized her arms were shaking, and pressed the bottle against her chest, hoping to steady it. As Ashley's hands shook nervously with the bottle held against her chest, she wondered if the large amount of sugar she just forced down her throat had something to do with shaking. It was more likely that her shaking was the result of being told that thousands of lives could be lost if she dropped the bottle. Still, the lingering taste of the pastry in her mouth didn't help. Ashley had silently lamented the fact that she had been forced to consume the lamington so abruptly. Lamingtons were a treat to be savored, not shoved into one's mouth in a moment of panic. She hadn't even had the chance to probably enjoy it. It was hard to simultaneously feel the pleasure of a tasty treat and the panic of being caught. Whatever the outcome of this errand was, she had wasted a wonderful pastry. Several agonizing minutes later, Ashley arrived at the top of the stairs and spotted Chase standing at the handrail. As she walked up, Chase standing faced her, and she presented him with the bottle. Ashley cleared her throat of any lingering stiffness before speaking. Maddie said you needed this? Ah, good, said Che. I was running low. Ashley gasped with relief as Che took the bottle from her and started taking deep labored breaths. Suddenly, becoming aware of how high her heart rate was. Shay popped open the seal on the bottle and splashed some of it onto a rag. Several drops dripped on the floor and Ashley let out a terrified squeak. Something wrong, said Shay. Maddie said that thousands of lives could be destroyed by what's in that bottle. Well, that's the idea, said Shay as he folded the rag and ran it along the railing that overlooked the cafe's ground level. This is supposed to kill 99.9% of all bacteria. That still leaves hundreds of bacteria alive, but I try not to think too hard about that part. Ashley's straw dropped. It's disinfectant? Yeah, said Shay. Why, did Maddie not tell you? Ashley's shoulders slumped. In a mix of relief and exasperation. She only told me it could kill thousands. And you didn't ask what she meant by that? No, said Ashley. I was preoccupied. Huh, said Jay. He turned his attention back to the railing, inspecting it for a moment before continuing to wipe it. Ashley turned to head Ashley turned to head backstairs. That is definitely a Australian thing because that's quite the tongue twister. By the way, Ashley turned to face Jay. He reached out and placed a finger on his shirt, wiping off a bit of frosting. He raised it to his finger and smelled it. Chocolate? He said. Yes, said Ashley. One of Maddie's lamingtons? Yes, said Ashley. Jay nodded and licked the frosting off his finger. Go downstairs and bring one up for me too, will you? I love these. I love these a lot. So, okay, how do I get down? How do I get down? Can I jump? You're overdue this week, said Ned. He tapped the list of rules that Maddie kept posted by the door. This 24-hour rule. You sure you've been enforcing it? I think how we run things around here is none of your business, said Maddie. Actually, it is absolutely my business, said Ned. In fact, keeping the rules is basically my only business. That's kind of what the word enforcer means. I'm supposed to scold you for breaking the rules. So audit me. Fine, said Ned. Let me check your ledger. We don't keep a ledger, said Maddie. Maybe you should, said Ned. Lots of places do. It's a great system. You have someone stand at the door and have them mark down whenever someone comes in or leaves. Then you forcibly evict people who are overstaying their welcome. I'm amazed that you don't have a system like that in place. Some people overstay their welcome, some people understay. There's no need to strictly keep track of how long people stay, right? Just maintain the balance. You're right, said Ned. All that matters is maintaining the balance. Don't maintain the balance, because when you don't, we have a problem. We're a bit short-staffed to have someone acting as a full-time storeman, said Maddie. Figure it out, said Ned. He tapped the board listing of rules. Change 24 hours to 23 hours. When you say 24 hours, people just think you just colloquially mean one day and they don't pay attention to a specific time. When you say 23 hours, people actually have to keep track of what time it is. That would be fine, said Jay, except for the part where you're cutting time of people staying. Trust me, said Ned. Anyone who's go right to the limit is probably going to go over it. 23 hours is going to mean 23 hours plus an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour plus however long it takes to finish their drink. And they leave in less than 24 hours. Who gives a shit? I give a shit, said Jay. You're right. You should give a shit, said Ned. In fact, you should celebrate whenever you manage to scoot someone out of here in under 24 hours because the balance is upset and you've got to correct it. You can either correct the balance 1 hour at a time, or the council come in here and repossess themselves. Or we can find someone who knows how to manage his property responsibly. He turned to Clay. Okay. Come on, buddy. I don't want to have to take the place away from you. That will be quite the escalation, said Maddie. Well, you're already on the first level of escalation, which is a stern talking to, said Ned. Let's try not to escalate any further. Jay sighed. Well, Maddie cut him off. We'll change the rule to 23 hours. Okay? Buzz off. Wow, really? Said Ned. Well, okay then. While you're rewriting the sign, you should also take the green tea frappuccino off the menu. Perhaps should be for coffee, not tea. Done, said Ned. Wait, really? Said Ned. Damn, I didn't realize they're so open to feedback. Also, that caramel. We'll take it under advisement, said Maddie, placing a hand on Ned's chest and physically pushing him toward the door. Hold up, said Ned. What are you doing? Removing an unwanted guest, said Maddie. I need to start practicing. I need to practice if we're going to start enforcing those rules you care so much about. Now, I said Ned as he continued backpedaling to stay upright. Look, you could just... Bye, said Maddie, as Ned crossed the threshold out of the cafe and Maddie shut the door in his face. She turned around, leaning her back against the door, and sighed. She raised an eyebrow. You're serious about the route change? Yeah, said Maddie. I'll change the sign menu after we close tonight. Wait, really? The route change is just to keep him off our back, said Maddie. And the menu thing, I've been meaning to take that off anyway, said Maddie. It's kind of menu and item that attracts the worst sort of people. Well, okay, said Che. No, I do think we should change the route back to 24 hours if things have had enough time to balance out. Of course, said Maddie. Wouldn't want to upset the balance too far in the opposite direction. What will we do with extra time anyway? Oof. Oh, you did have to. I see. Enter doodle mode. I would like to doodle. I am bad at doodling. I did like her wolfish grin. I hope this doesn't actually make me doodle because I will be bad at that. In the meantime, I will be. Oh, you can draw a face for each assling. What? Oh, wait, but I'm like bad at that. Okay. So, wait. But I have a mouse. Okay. How do I? This is a bit unfortunate because I'm using mouse and keyboard. Let me just kind of. Oh. Wait, is it? Wait, is there? There's no undo. No. There we go. It's perfect. Wait. No. Okay. How do the UI hit. Oh, it's beautiful. We're giving all of them faces. Oh, wait. This one's gonna be skewed a little bit. Fuck. Perfect. Get over here, Jacoby. They're beautiful. I care for them as if they were my own children. Separately, I got a ton of apple juice because I knew I'd be doing a lot of talking today. Apple juice is actually supposed to be really good for your voice. Because sorry, I'm like actually trying to swallow it now. Streaming is so new, right? Like, and as more and more people are being streamers, that's suddenly a lot of pressure on your vocal cords that definitely wasn't there before. So like, definitely, you know, do what you can to keep your voice healthy, which for me also means avoiding tea and coffee, which is difficult because I am a programmer. Let's get back into it. I think I might do one more episode plus the memories, and then I will end for here, and then I can squeeze like what, 4 streams out of this probably, because I noticed that there were 8 or 10 episodes, and we're only on episode 3. Day 2, 12 p.m. The terminal. Rise and shine. Don't wanna. You shouldn't waste your last hours on Earth sleeping. Whoever said I have plenty of time to sleep when I'm dead probably had a different idea of how things would play out after death. Man, I was hoping I was having a really long weird dream. Sorry, no such luck. Some more pedantic magical practitioners are quite bothered by flippant and colloquial use of word luck. Che isn't one of them. I'm still having trouble getting my head around it. I totally understand. Want a coffee? Yeah, just some simple hipster coffee. Come right up. What's going on downstairs? I didn't even know you had it downstairs. There's more to this place than meets the eye. Maddie's down there, desperately trying to fix our depth situation. Sounds like she's hosting a cage match or something. Well, not exactly, but she's mentioned wanting to do that. There's some wrestler called the Red Comet she wouldn't stop talking about for a while. And because of that, Ashley got obsessed with wrestling forbidden, kept trying to suplex me. Ashley's small, so she has to opt for wrestling moves to control the opponent's weight instead of trying to lift them. Did she manage to? She's tiny. A couple of times. It was very humiliating. I can imagine. But to properly answer your question, Maddie's running a gambling ring. When you find yourself staying at the brink of death, a wager could be a chance of salvation or the last chance to fear danger. Both of these appeal to different types of patrons. Downstairs, all by herself, it's a fairly unconventional one. And by unconventional, you mean mortals generally aren't involved. The stakes are higher than usual. Coffee's ready. Come over and get it. They gamble for time, among other things. You don't sound like you're a huge fan of the idea. I'm not. It's undignified. I mean, as long as Maddie's not in danger, shouldn't it be fine? The council doesn't like it. Turn a blind eye because we don't cause trouble otherwise, but I'd rather not have to worry about the bad things coming our way. Doesn't matter if you approach the problem from a different angle. And by the problem, you mean the death, yeah? I was pretty drunk, but I think I remember Maddie storming off after Ned turned up. Yes, I'm a bit worried about her. I wish I could help. You all seem pretty nice. That's appreciated. Maddie will figure it out eventually, though, I'm sure. You just need time. Hey, thanks for the coffee, by the way. I just realized you haven't actually made me pay for a bunch of them. How'd you expect to pay for them? Oh, right. Yep, no cash. If I was feeling particularly capricious, I'd actually pay in time. But you're a nice kid, and you need every minute you got. You went downstairs? Is your eyes darting to the stairs? I'm not going now, but I'm not gonna stop you. Yeah, if that's okay. Go on then, no. I'll stick around up here. Catch you in a bit. Gambling ring, huh? But if everyone only has like 24 hours, they don't exactly have a lot to gamble with. Unless they're, I mean, because you could buy time from someone, yeah? The stairs that led down to the basement were solid and well worn, with smooth ruts on each step and a handrail that has been polished to silky sheen through years of use. Kishan had always liked stairwells. People never lingered in them for long, and he found them to be a good place to catch a breather. Yeah, liminal spaces. He wasn't obsessed with them, that'd be weird. But he definitely appreciated a nice set of stairs. On first reflection, it was probably a little weird. Light. Downstairs, Maddie's audience clamored for blood. Even the blood, they'd find blood sports compelling. Christ and fuck, Maddie is a fucking bad light! From you to me, we are understanding that your remaining moments on this plane are limited. You surrender this time freely, without coercion as agreed. Contract fulfilled, you're free to go. Everything comes at a price, nothing risked, nothing gained. Oof. That's 3 in a row, you bloody, bloodthirsty bastards. The crowd cheered. Maddie was clearly an expert at winding them up into a frenzy. Who's next? Room fell dead solid. Come on, is there anyone brave enough to challenge me? I came here to play with knives, you pansies. Seriously, anyone? Don't have that on me. We need to pick someone from the crowd then. This is what we've come to. Maddie's gaze swept the audience. Ishan, good to see you upright. Interested in a game of skill? Me? Yes, you. Oh, sure. Give me some enthusiasm, my man. Sure. What's the game? 5-finger fillet. Don't people in here. It's called the knife game. You heard of it? Ah, finally something I'm good at. Episode 3. Rise and shine. Shit, I can see the appeal. You're already fucking dead. You know? What if you lose? Like, who the fuck cares? A lot of knives in this place. Tell me about it. Uh-oh. Damn, this thing has good weight to it. Of course, I wouldn't make you compete with an inferior tool. Huh. What? Sorry, I was waiting for you you to segue into calling me an inferior tool. Shit, that was low-hanging fruit, wasn't it? Next time, me. Yeah. Kishan did another experimental flash, and this time amid an audible whoosh, spectator oohed and ahed. But this wasn't for them. He knew he only had one shot to get accustomed to the blade. Light. You done showing off? Nothing wrong with putting on a little show. Sounds like you're stalling for time. Getting cold feet, perhaps. Not a chance. Let's get started then. You know what you're wagering? Jay mentioned something about you gambling with time. It's not gambling because it's a game of skill. But that's beside the point. We're both wagering 4 hours. If you win, it comes from Chef Balance. Cafe's Balance. If I win, it comes from yours. We've got around 16 hours left in case you want to keep track. Shit, only that many? You want a little extra time to play with then? Hell yes. Let's stop wasting it and get this over with. You sure you know what you're getting into? Most people are pretty shy about playing with the time they have left, especially when their tongue's running as empty as yours. Yep. Go on. Unless you're getting cold feet. Hardly. You've got 30 seconds. Like the time when you were ready. The crowd cheered and Kishan fed off the enthusiasm. In response, Maddie leaned back, tapped her finger on the table, feigning impatience. He met her eyes, grinned, and continued his performance. His stabbing motion got faster as he went, the point narrowly missing each of his fingers. Stabs, strong enough to drive the knife a millimeter or two into the table, were good if you wanted to put on a show. And of course, giving a spectator a show is part of the fun. You might be going fast enough to put on a show, but you're not going fast enough to win. How'd I do? 16 sets, if I counted correctly. Whoa, I can do 16. Tell me Maddie beat me with. She's gonna lose. Yeah, she's gonna kick his ass. Feeling good about that result. 13 a.m. Radio then. Much closer. Oh, I will. 16. 1. 3. 7. 11. 15. Told you. She's unbeatable. Is it magic? She could cheat if she wanted to. Definitely not. She's just that good. Poor guy. Didn't know what he was getting into. Sorry, mate. You beat me fair and square. I'm pretty impressed. I am to please. I'll be taking those hours now if you don't mind. Yeah, sure. How does this work? Just like this. You won't feel a thing. Kishan felt a brief tightness in his chest, and for a moment, the tip of Maddie's finger burned white hot. Oh, that's that. I love this camera angle. Can't beat entry. Anytime you do an energy transfer, there's gonna be some amount of energy lost to heat. Ow! Shit! Sorry, I lied. It's done now, though. All right. Does anyone else dare to compete with me? Come on, I'm looking for the actual opposition here. I'll take any challenge, even his chest or something. Any challenge, I challenge you. To get everyone a drink. Rounds on me. I didn't realize you were watching. There was an inning happening upstairs and I got bored. Right. So you took some hours from Kishan, huh? Yes, I did. You feel good about that? Okay. Do you? I want him fair and square. He didn't know what he was getting into. There's an obvious power imbalance here that you're exploiting. Shay isn't one to let you forget the responsibilities that come with power. He knew the rules. Hasn't changed anything. You let him believe he'd get some extra time. Manny knows firsthand how seductive the promise of extra time can be. And, barring a miracle on his part, that absolutely wasn't going to happen. Doesn't matter. He's just passing through. A couple hours won't make a difference. This is... I thought it was cool. This is like robbing the homeless dude, because like, fucking no one's going to see the homeless dude in a bit. Maddie, I thought you were cool. Fuck. Good. Maddie, I'm disappointed in you. Our patrons respect us. We need to earn their respect by treating them with respect ourselves. This is not respectful, we're dignified. Cheating vulnerable passengers out at a time, we're above that. We're better than that. I don't care whether you think it's dishonest or not. I want you to give that poor man his time back. Don't pout, this is serious. It's like a broken record saying this, but while I understand your intentions are good, you can't keep doing these things. How for you? You really want to do this for me? Find another way. This isn't worth it, Maddie. It breaks my heart to see you like this, and I know you're trying your hardest. This is really, truly not worth sacrificing your own self-respect over. Everyone here respects you, but you gambling with hours just cheapens that. Give the hours back. Shame, I was pretty good with the knife. You're not as good as me. I was pretty close. Man, what I can only describe as sexual tension. Ooh, so palpable you could cut it as if it was butter. Yes, yes. Wait. What form did you have before? Ah, they have their smiles. I think I was a crab. Well, I'm being serious. Actually, wouldn't harvest spirit liquid from a crab. You're assuming an awful lot about how squeamish she is. As far as I can remember, I lived above streets next to the sky. So a bird then. Wings and feathers and such. No, not that. I do remember flying though. Oh, were you a sugar glider? Describe? Did you eat insects and tree sap and flower nectar? That is familiar. Wonder how Ashley found you then. Could have been anything really. You mentioned bright lights earlier. Oh, did he die by a car? Oh. Ugh. Yeah, I'm thinking he got hit by a car. It seems likely. Is that bad? He died, mate. I mean, you're here now, so... Whether you like it or not. Ciao. I'm still adjusting. I love the crabs without my heart. So I think that episode was actually a lot shorter than I was thinking. I'll finish for wow, light. Student mode is available. You cannot speak to Kishan, access studio mode. Light above. I'll finish 4 as well as 4 interesting. Nothing. Leave me alone. There's so much stuff here. Yeah, but I'll finish episode 4, which puts us halfway through this. Do those memories, and then we will call it. Yeah, I will get some dinner. Let's go, little girl. The man standing in front of Beth's smirk. The knife he held seemed almost slight compared to his massive hands, but that didn't make any less intimidating. There's just one quick came call from behind the knife holder. 3 men stood behind him, wearing amused restrained from amused to bored. Beth felt her hand palm getting sweaty, and loosened. I wanted to make a palm spaghetti joke, and loosened her grip on the knife in her right hand, sliding her thumb along the guard to reassure herself that its shape hadn't changed since the moment she picked it up. Take your friend's advice, Beth said to the man who was menacing her. Just as quick. After all, I am just a little girl. Well, as low as any 15-year-old girl could be. Can do, said the man. He drew his knife, he drew his knife up for an overhand swing. The man's movement suggested he didn't know how to use the knife. Not really. He was swinging the knife like he'd swing a fist. He was trying to bludgeon her with it. Like he'd never really used a knife before. It was stupid. Mercifully stupid. She tried to reassure herself of the fact, trying to not lose her resolve. He lunged towards her as he brought the knife down, and Beth raised her left arm. She felt the edge of the knife hit her skin, but the impact of the blow caused the man to lose his grip on the knife. An opening. Beth grabbed the attacker's knife down and pulled him over while thrusting her own knife at him toward him at chest level. She drove the knife in the man's chest with all the force she could muster, and he fell to the ground and gasped as Beth released her grip on him. The man lay on the ground and put a hand in his chest, moaning, "Son of a bitch! You're only KO down there," said Beth. Man sat up and patted his chest. I didn't expect to lose to a girl. No. Well, that too, but I didn't expect it to hurt this much. These rubber practice knives, no joke, said Beth. If I'd stabbed any harder, I might have broken a rib. The man stood up. You got a name, girl? You can call me Beth, she said, extending a hand. She took it with a look of he took it with a look of hesitation. I'm Kyle. I gotta say, Beth, that was some kind of a cheap trick. How do you mean? Said Beth. I mean the way you blocked my knife with your arm. It just bounced right off. You can do that if we were using real knives. He's right, said one of the spectators. Not really a fair fight with rubber knives. I'd like a rematch. Yeah, said one of the spectators. Rematch. The others began chanting along with him. Rematch, rematch, rematch. A voice thundered from above. I thought I told you guys to keep it down. It's actually really dark. I need to. Let me turn the lights on. There we are. Everyone spun around to face the stairs leading up to the ground floor. Maddie was leaning over the railing of the staircase with a stern look on her face. She tapped a poster on the wall. Beth took a moment to glance at the sign. Fight Club rules. 1. Don't quote Tyler Durden. 2. Seriously, no Tyler Durden quotes. 3. Always assume your opponent is mortal. Practice weapons only. 4. Be considerate to other guests. Keep noise to a reasonable level. We don't have many rules here. Please don't make me kick you out of the basement. Everyone else in the room cast their gaze downward, looking ashamed, but several mumbled apologies. Maddie nodded and climbed back up the stairs, content she had made her point. Seriously though, said Kyle. Not really a fair fight without real knives. Beth walked over to the edge of the room and lifted a rug, revealing 2 steak knives. There were whispers erupted from a small crowd. Where'd you get these? Asked Kyle. Swiped them from upstairs, said Beth. Not exactly combat gear, but these blades are fit to cut through flesh, whether it's a cooked steak or a human arm. Beth held one of the steak knives by the blade, presenting his hand to the Kyle. We've already broken one rule tonight. How about broken another one? I won't get hurt, said Kyle. I mean, I can still feel the pain, but you know, I'm not afraid of getting stabbed. Neither am I, said Beth. But don't say you're ready for this if you're not ready to bleed. She turned the knife over in her hands, pressing the thumb against the tip, just enough to draw a single drop of blood. Kyle grinned. Do I look like I'd be afraid? Do I look like I'd be here if I was afraid to die? No shit. Fuck, we started off so comfy and then now I've got fucking this. I like it. Billiards, man. There are so many. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, Ashley's journal too. Oh no, I'm missing bits. I think. I think what we might do actually then. I'll continue on with the episodes because I am loving the plot, and if any of you would like to read any of these memories, then you're just gonna have to buy the game yourself, because God, this game deserves your money. These developers very much deserve it. My understanding is they released this a bit ago, then had 2 additional expansions that were totally free, and that's an act of love right there. Kishan's footsteps echoed in a way that startled him. Were his footsteps always so loud? Perhaps it was just a contrast with the surrounding environment, which seemed to completely silent, that made his footfalls seem so jarringly loud as he walked along the catwalk. He was on a catwalk. How was he on a catwalk? There seemed to be a gaping space below him. If it was some sort of mist he couldn't see through. It was fog-like, and yet, despite the fog that lapped his feet, the air felt so dry. The air was thick here. As he breathed heavily, Kishan felt an overwhelming, sweet, sickly odor, like the smell of wet or rotting wood, but all he could see around him were steel beams and a concrete path in front of him. Was it rust he was smelling? No, he knew the smell of rust. This was different. It smelled somehow organic, like the smell of a forest after fresh rainfall. Kishan shivered. Far in the distance, he could see what looked like a building of some sort, so far away that it made the structure he was inside feel almost tunnel-like, as if his only purpose was to convey him to that distant building. He continued walking forward, but as he walked, the building seemed to be growing more and more distant. He quickened his pace, and as he walked faster, he could feel himself moving through the thick, stifling air. Yet as he looked down, he could see the texture of the catwalk in front of him, unchanged, as though he were walking in place. He then started to turn backward, but only saw a blinding light. His eyes immediately shut, and when he opened them, he was again facing into the tunnel, with the distant building at the center of his field of view. He tried turning around, but every time he tried to turn his head, his eyes involuntarily shut at the sight of the light, and he was forced to close his eyes and look away, always confronted again with the sight of the small hut when he opened his eyes. His heart pounded violently inside of his chest. The tunnel was so quiet that he could hear his own heartbeat, feel his own pulse inside of his head. Something about this place felt deeply, incredibly wrong. Get back. I have to get back. He tried turning again, and this time he found himself unable to even begin rotating his body before his eyes snapped shut, placing him again in a world of darkness until he opened them again and was confronted with the sight of a small hut in the distance, now looking more far away than ever. I have to get back. Hishan kept facing the building and took a step backward. As he placed his foot on the ground, he felt a gust of wind knock him forward. He let out a yelp of terror. Instinctively, his hands reached for the opposite edge of the catwalk as he fell, trying to steady himself for fear of falling off. The catwalk was wide enough that his body didn't land close enough to the edge for that to have been a risk, and yet, as he looked towards the edge, he felt a growing sense of dread that there was something down there that would capture him if he allowed it to catch even the smallest hold of him. It's almost as he thought it. He felt the sensation of something pressing against his legs. He stumped to his feet. He ran forward. The hut ahead of him seemed to grow no closer as he ran, but as he ran all the same, running to not to reach a destination, but to be away from whatever it was that was behind him. Moments ago, his only thought was an overwhelming desire to turn back, a worry that he was somehow trapped in here. But now that worry was replaced with an overwhelming sense of dread that propelled him forward. He had been pushed forward by something. Something was behind him. Kishan leaned forward and ran. He was no runner. He often found himself winded when forced to climb more than one flight of stairs, and yet he ran and felt no sense of tiredness holding him back, no need to catch his breath. Maybe it was the thick air that somehow never allowed him to run out of breath. Maybe it was that fear of whatever that was behind him that was that strong. Kishan felt the air sting at his eyes as he ran. By now he was running so fast the thick air felt like a hot wind on his face. Tears began running down his face, but he couldn't find it within him to raise a hand to wipe at his eyes. That would mean slowing his sprint. So he closed his eyes, fully aware that he was running down a catwalk that had no handrail on either side. At this point, he didn't care. He ran and ran. Long after the tears on his face had dried, Kishan realized he could hear only the sound of his own feet as they struck the catwalk. He couldn't even hear the rush of wind, even as it seemed to buffet his face. There were no sounds of anyone or anything pursuing him. Perhaps there was no pursuit at all. He allowed himself to open his eyes and look down. He looked over his shoulder. This time, there was no blinding light, only a distant glow, like the light at the end of a long tunnel. In a way, it was the light at the end of a long tunnel, and in observing the long, dim glow of the distant light, Hishan suddenly realized just how far he had run. He turned around and saw the building right in front of him. It had windows that were covered with the same fog that covered the ground around him. Hishan reached for the door handle. He half expected to be locked, and felt a moan of panic as the handle bowed under the pressure of his hand. Was he ready to face whatever was on the other side of that door? Did he even want to enter? Did he have a choice? What was it that waited inside of this building? Answers or more baffling questions? Kishan looked down the tunnel and suddenly felt cold. Whatever this place was, he needed to escape it, and the only form of egress that seemed to be available to him was the door of this building. He leaned on the handle and felt the door swing open. Which I assume is how he got up here. Well, I want to go into a set. Never mind. A cafe. We got books. And the door has clipped already. He's pissed. I'd be pissed too. Damn, I'm actually kind of really hungry. Oh, okay. So, okay, how does this work? Actor edit face. Wait, how did I place Maddie before? Actor animation speed position. What? Oh, wait, can I hold on. This hurts my brain. You've got a shadow. Shot. Can I move the camera? Play studio reel, edit studio stage, mid camera for shot. I'm not smart enough for this. Yeah, I'm not smart enough for this. I will be leaving. I'm sure it's beautiful for like people that have a mind for cinematography. But I'm stupid. Alrighty, let us get into chapter 4. Look at you, turn into a responsible human being. Oh, there's a sprint. Just realized. Wait, I'd mentioned this before, but like, who am I? Because all the other characters are present, but like, who's holding the camera here? Why are you so happy? It's like disarming. My back hurts. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that. Day 2. 5 p.m. outside the terminal. You right? Yeah, I guess. Cool. Mind if I join you? Go for it. God, he's just like something about the car. Like he's so intimidating, but then like the cargo pants like are not. Durry. You want a durry? Sorry, Durry. Cough nail. Cigarette. Wanna smoke a nap? Oh, right. Of course. Yeah, sure. Sorry, it's been a weird day. Smoking is bad. Don't do it. Well, actually, I mean, he's fucking dead. Everyone in here, you have my permission to smoke only when you are actually dead. Thanks. No worries. Where you from then? You're the first to ask. I live in Collingwood. Where else can you find an active light knife scene, amid active factories, shots, and apartments all built all during the 1800s? Oh yeah, whereabouts? Smith Street. Good price up there these days, isn't it? Bet you like your avotoast. Piss off. I've got housemates. Well, nah, I know what you mean. Todd, being dead and all that. Takes some getting used to. Ned certainly knows what it's like to get used to being dead. People keep saying that, but it doesn't make me feel any better. I understand. Yeah, I reckon as much as anyone can, yeah. Right. Hey, what's Sabotage actually taste like? Huh? I've never had it. Can't you just go out and eat some? Dramatic could whip it off your ass. Avocados are a highly malevolent fruit. Don't trust them one bit. Plus, I've got this whole situation. Oh, that's what the straw is for. You got it. So what does it taste like? I don't know. Like avocado and toasted bread. Avocado is kind of cold but mushy, but it's got a good taste. Like peas. Yeah, definitely better than mushy peas. I'll be a bowl of peas, mate. One famous Australian outlaw requested peace with a bottle of wine for his last meal before he was hanged. What, because they're the only thing you can eat through a straw? Watch yourself. What does that mean with your Death Council powers? First off, it's the Council of Death, not the Death Council. Totally different things. Secondly, you really think that's what we do? Walk around shooting lightning out of our fingers? Well, when you put it like that, it sounds a bit silly, yeah. We don't do anything like that. We just keep things running smoothly is all. Harassing cafe owners instead of the time that isn't something we like to do often. So, you just keep the peace. It's fucking ironic as that sounds, yeah. Ned keeps peace. Dude, I know. Want another? Sure. 'Cause Man, look at that shot. Hold up, we're screenshotting. Yeah, there we go. I love the sunrises here. They're alright. You watch many sunrises, Ned? Not enough, no. Even semi-mortals need their sleep. Liminal space tends to draw liminal people. I just like to sit here and watch it. Even when it's cloudy or raining. There's just something about watching sunrise that makes it easier to deal with the coming day. Feeling optimistic all of a sudden. No, I still feel like shit. How about you, Kishan? Are you passing? Kishan? I don't feel great. Having a lot of trouble. You guys, I'm dead. I've only got a couple hours left before I have to go, and I don't think anyone here really probably understands what it's like to see your last sunrise ever without having any idea of what comes next. That is really fucking terrifying. I'm never gonna see my friends or my boyfriend or my family again. I'm just gonna pass on. I'm never gonna know how they remember me or mourn me if I'm ever gonna be remembered as a good dude who's tried his best or I've just been forgotten in a year. But that dude who tried his best couldn't even win a friggin' game of Five Finger Fillet in a basement of a cafe that basically sits on a banks with a 6 as far as I can tell. And oh god, I can't even tell if that matters. Were the stakes low, high? I can't tell. I'm so disorientated. I'm so trying so desperately to feel something, but I feel that I'm slipping away with every second. I'm losing myself by degrees, and that's incredibly scary. I don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, fair cop. I actually came out to apologize for that. The game? Oh, for goodness sake, Maddie, have you been gambling again? Can it, Ned? Kishan, I shouldn't have taken that time for you. You took it fair and square. I don't feel like I did, so I'm giving it back. Believe me, I'm as surprised as you are. I don't usually do this. What's different this time? That's my business. I can't believe you're still swindling people out of hours to try to fix your debt. Dude, I know. It's bloody undignified. It's a clear violation of rules. I will banish you right now, my man. Thought you stopped pulling that crap once you took the ownership of the cafe from Che. You really think this is gonna help you pay this debt? Yes, absolutely. And if you got any bright ideas on how to do it otherwise, I am all ears. We never should have granted you and Che those licenses to practice. The actions of reckless necromancers make a pretty good case for the importance of occupational license. You've obviously failed to be responsible with them. You really think we wouldn't be doing if we didn't have licenses, Bushman? Given your history, the hypocrisy of display here is astounding. That's all behind me, and you know it. We're working on doing some good for the last 100 years. With the council? Really? Yes, we maintain the balance. You know why that's important? Sure do. There's no need you moralizing me from your ivory tower. Give it a rest, guys. But I'm pulling the last day on Earth card. Quit it. I'll be inside. Come find me when you want those hours back, Kishan. For what it's worth, I'm sorry about all of this. I've never been to the other side. I was too afraid to leave. Walked the line for decades, evading council. That's a crime they call revenancy. Staying too long, upsetting the balance. But in lieu of booting me straight to the next place or some sort of eternal punishment, the council offered me a job. Ned may have forgotten some of the sins of his past, but he's pretty sure he wouldn't be going to heaven. Sorry, that's all stuff you don't care about, I suppose. It's interesting enough. I'm just filling up empty air. You should head inside and grab those hours back. Truth be told, I'm not feeling especially fond of Maddie right now. She might have been dishonest with you, but even I can tell she's at the end of her rope. You might not be able to see it yet, but I think the people there are fond of you. You think so? Maddie wouldn't have offered the hours back there if there wasn't something different about you. Plus, that kid Ashley seems to like you, yeah? I guess. Kinda dragged me off and got me hold screwdrivers for her. Trust me, she thinks you're great. Go on. Go inside and say hi. I've got some business to go stick my nose into anyway. Alright. Catch you in a bit. I've got some questions about the council. Ah, that's powerful. Of course, won't be out for long. Later, mate. Hey. Yo. You want those hours back? I guess so. It's only 4 hours. I don't think it'll make much difference. If it's okay, I'd prefer that you have them. Ashley's been enjoying having you around. Just Ashley? And me too, I guess. You seem pretty reluctant to admit that, my dude. Don't psychoanalyze me. Sit still for a minute. Alright, lay your hand on mine and place your index finger on my wrist. This part of your ritual or just an excuse to hold hands? No. Thanks. Watch carefully, and no matter what you do, don't move your hand. There's usually a binding spell I use to make sure that doesn't happen, but I've run out of regions required, and you probably don't care about that. True? Alright. Yep. I give this time freely, without coercion. As above, so below. I maintain the balance. Ow! I maintain the balance. That's it. How do you feel? I actually feel better. I feel less itchy. Yeah, we weren't kidding about that yesterday. As you linger, you begin to upset the balance, and as I understand, it doesn't feel good. Right, yeah. Why doesn't that get to stick around then? Does he just ignore it? The council were a special case. They're more similar to demigods or demons than they are to us. That's fascinating. Tell me about it. I'd have joined ages ago, but they're uptight dicks. They don't seem that bad to me. That's because you've not run into any of their ridiculous rules. Lots of bloody regulations of manipulating life force, certain standards on treatment of spirits. There's got to be a more inclusive term than human rights for all of the not quite human entities that are floating around. That why you gave the hours back? Because Ned realized you broke the rules? No, that was all within the guidelines, despite his blustering. I gave him back because I felt bad. Oh, neat. So you pity me. I love that. I'm actually really into it. No, dude, it's not like that at all. Now, you don't need to clarify. I get it. Seriously. Last day on Earth. Moving on. Fine. Sure. I'm sorry. Sorry, I've got to serve this customer. I'll help. Really, it's probably not a two-person job. Sometimes 2 people work on a task would be less efficient than 1. Sometimes Keyshawn doesn't care. Yep. Come on. Day 2, 6 p.m. The terminal. Oof. Anything else that needs doing? Nah, I'm gonna take this tray of glasses in the kitchen. You can go chill for a bit. I'll take them. You need a break. Sure. Where's the kitchen? That way. You'll find it eventually. Ooh, back in a minute. Your pawns are nothing compared to the raw power of my castles. Rook and Castle both offer protection for the defending team, but Rooks seem to be more popular. Nothing. Yeah? What's this then? Oof. Ah! My castle! Brought low by my own hubris. No, it was just a pawn. And maybe a little bit of hubris. When Chase sees Ashley driving, it's hard for him to feel like he's doing the wrong thing. Maybe that makes him overconfident. And maybe that just makes him the right amount of confident. Bishop. Knight. Ah! Your other castle. And check. Check, you say. Oh, I didn't think that. You activated my trap card. Oh, hey, Maddie, come check this out. I tricked him to a false sense of security. Oh, man, it's embarrassing. You seriously let her outmaneuver you that hard? Yes. I'm very ashamed. I suppose the real hubris was inside me all along. I friggin' love winning. I should try doing this more often. Chance win at chess. Could grow into a big winning streak, you know? You wanna play some of this? I really should head back to the bar. There's nobody there. Come on, take a load off. If anyone really needs you, they know where to find you. How about I grab us all a drink? Make sure there's nobody waiting down there and we play something. Won't be 5 minutes. You actually gonna come back this time? You'd never come back. The framing. The framing! I'll come back. Promise. Why don't you pick out a game while I'm gone? Let's find something, actually. What do you feel like playing today? Something... Somebody lost a dice. The past tense of die is died. The plural of die is dice. Dice it is. We see you in a minute, Maddie. Day 2. 6:15 p.m. Ashley's workshop. I want to know what the hell that is in the background. That is... transfiction. What am I looking at? This looks like Kingdom Death Monster. And that's why the 4th Days in a Row Battle Royale was an absolute betrayal. But you still want to be on it one day. Well, yeah. Unless an indie circuit opens up. Like in wrestling. Exactly like wrestling. Melbourne's got a local show. I want something like that. You probably put your own local league together if you worked hard. Maybe you could build robots and get people to battle them. Human controlled bots are boring though. I want to get more of that spirit juice and put together bigger Ashling. Murdering necromancers who advise that spirit juice is not something to play around with. Masters know that playing around is the best to learn. How big? I think I'll start car size and then move on to a more bus adjacent form factor. I'm not sure we have enough to power one of those. You'd have to get Maddie to service you a large amount of it. We need like leaders of it at least. That'd be super cool. Didn't you say it was illegal though? Well, technically. But what Ned doesn't know won't hurt him. He'd lose his head if he knew half the things we were doing around here. I don't know, he seems fairly limited, right? He wasn't always like that. A long time before you showed up, he literally shut me down because would you believe it's because I sheltered a criminal? Ned nearly shut you down because of that? Am I thinking of the same criminal you are? Trust me, the irony was apparent. I found it very, very funny. What sort of criminal were they? Just a minor demon on a run. Most demons aren't lucky enough to find someone as welcome as Shay, especially the ones that haven't had a chance to make a name for themselves. I don't know what she did to get a price on her head. I just took her in when she would stumble through the door, dripping blood everywhere. It's metal. It was extremely metal. How long did you manage to hide her for? Oh, not too long, maybe 6 weeks. The time flew by if I'm being honest. What's that? Was she from the clock realm? No, nothing like that. We, bonded. Magically? How'd you do that? I thought I heard you telling Maddie this sort of thing was impossible between beings on this plane. No, not magically. We were, lovers. Ew, yuck. Ew. Happier days. I love hearing when you were young and reckless. Gosh, what do you think I am now, huh? Old and boring? Definitely old. Despite myself, I must say, you're definitely not boring. There's that patented Maddie charm. Well, you know me, I'm full of them. Oh yeah. Charms. Hexes. Curses. That's all on your account, old man. I won't deny it. Hey, Maddie. Hey, dude, having trouble finding a kitchen? Yeah, I couldn't. I checked everywhere. It's behind the bar, man. You can't miss it. I told you, I checked everywhere. No, you're not catching my drift. It's just behind the bar. You can't miss it. Have another look. It'll be there this time. Sometimes you gotta remind the quads in the hallways that they exist. Fine. How long are we gonna keep him, Maddie? Ooh, we're keeping him? No, we're not keeping him. And let him stay as long as he wants. He'll leave on his own accord at some point. You feel sorry for him? Weirdly, yeah. I don't usually get attached to customers, but he's a good dude. I like him! You like him because he's nice? Because he was good at passing your tools over? Yes. Don't get too attached. He's not going to be here forever. Well, duh, I know how it works. I'm going to enjoy having him around, just like you taught me. Don't cry because it's over. Why? Because it's happened. Ashley. That's from the motivational calendar I wrote last week. I never said that. It's the same. I'm used to people moving on is the point. I can deal with it. Good. 6:30 p.m. Terminal. Oh boy. You're gonna keep staring at the coffee stain, or nah? Yes. Okay, whatever. What do you want for this conversation? I'm an open book as far as matters of life and death are concerned. Yeah. I don't want to go. I know you've probably heard this from, like, I don't know, 1,000 people or whatever. Given the amount of people, traffic the terminal gets, and how long it's been open, 1,000 people is a pretty low estimate. It's not about staying around for people or wanting to go back to my old life. Wonderful is not as wonderful and not stressful as that sounds. Like, I'm not afraid of what lies on the other side. I don't think there's any point of worrying about it until I'm there. I just don't think I've spent enough time here. The cafe? No. All this. I guess you'd call it this plane? Roughly speaking, I suppose so. I want to know what you did to be able to say. Sure. I'm mad to give you those hours back. Yeah, why? Well, that's the way. This is fine enough hours to stay here as a spirit, half here, half gone. But it's a wretched existence. I wouldn't want to live like that. How would you find the hours, though? There's only so many you can get from consenting beings, right? The crappy psychology of gambling aside, you're right, yes. So the question is, how do you do that? How do you create life from nothing? The answer is you can't, Keyshawn. Impossible. There's always got to be some sort of balance maintained. Everyone who learns to manipulate the fundamental life forces understands that, no matter what they're doing, good or bad things with their skills. Here's the thing, though. You don't need both parties to agree. It's just a social nicety. Something that separates us from, well, people that don't do that. That's where the people idea of vampires came from, for example. Those bastards. They're not special or anything. They're just dickheads. Anyway, if you can take life force from people, you can also drain it from animals or plants. But in this business, there's a lot we don't or can't understand. One of the things we can't understand is why life force from animals and plants is tainted. It feels gross. Even if it didn't, everyone would take it. If it didn't, everyone would take it. Consequences would be damned. How are you feeling today before Maddie took the hours back? I felt like I was slipping away. Like my mind was feeling really foggy. It's scary to run when it's foggy. You don't know what might be running to. You don't know what you might be running toward. It was really hard to think or put sentences together. Nobody really noticed, though. Typical. Imagine that, but 10 times worse. You're foggy, but there's also something fundamentally wrong. Like you're a collection of puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together. Like an engine that's running out of oil. That sounds horrifying, right? So, should I do it? Probably not. How would I say otherwise? Well, you could always go on a lamb. Run for it. But you'd catch me. Not me, personally, but yes, the council would eventually. And that's it? That's the only option. Perhaps. That's not how you feel about bonding your soul to an eternity to a fundamentally neutral arbiter of justice. The downside of neutral arbiters is that they're never on your side. I have no strong feelings about it one way or the other. Smart arse. Would you regret it if you stay here forever instead of moving on? I don't know. I guess it'd be up to me, right? I mean, in the end, how I feel about taking a big branch of my life is just a matter of how I frame it. I can focus on what I regret, sure, but it's not a useful way to spend my time. If I focus on the future, on everything that's in the possibility space instead of outside of it, it's probably better for me, yeah? Pigeon, hello. I don't think it's sad, necessarily. It's powerful. This is the terminal is a coffee bar where the recently dead can still stay in the realm of the living for 24 hours. And this is like our guy here to the right, Keyshawn. He's our recently departed. He's got maybe like 10 hours left. 10 hours before he moves on to whatever else is after. But this conversation is very much like I kind of don't want to. Is there a way around that? You know? Is there a way to get more time for himself? Is there a way to skirt the law and stay around as long as he wants? This guy over here, Ned, is some sort of immortal, like, when spirits stick around, they're allotted exactly 24 hours, and he's kind of an officer of like you can't overstay your welcome. That would upset the balance. I love the word building. I really, really love it. I love the writing. I love the art style. I love how powerful it is. But at its core, this is how everyone, including the recently dead, cope with death. So we don't know what happens after spirits move on. No, I don't believe so. Because, you know, that's a one-way trip. You don't sound convinced. I'm just a bit living on it. I try to not think about anything too hard these days. But if you're willing to accept eternal bondage with the council, I can keep you here. It's not easy work though. You have to act in the best interest of the system, not its individual parts. Bureaucracy at its finest. How'd you learn to deal with it? Just took some time. When you're used to it, you learn to not think too hard about what you're doing. As long as you take a holistic view of everything, things generally shake out alright. We only tend to body the biggest rule breakers anyway. Maddie being one of them. Habitually. You wouldn't be getting so much leeway if it weren't for Che. I don't understand that guy. He's nice, we've chatted a bit, but what makes him so special? He's provided services in the past. I can count on one hand the number of people who know as much as the manipulation of life force as he does. He's been researching it for over 100 years. A lot has changed since the days when Che was a young man. No way, he's that old? He looks like 60 max. Yep, much older than that. Wild. We're getting sidetracked though. How do you feel about joining council? I don't hand out offers willy-nilly, you know. I'm interested, but you have some time to think about it? How much time do you have? You've been out for nearly 25 hours. You're overdue. Put it on Maddie's tab. Okay. I assume you're not gonna stick around forever. Unlikely if the next few hours are anything about how I felt this morning. I'll stick around until you have a solid answer then. Cool. Wanna get drunk? We're already drinking, mate. Nah, Che told me about something pretty special he's got behind the bar. Unless it's something really special, he's probably offered me some. And even then. So you've tried the bottled soul? You pulling my leg? Nope. You got to be mistaken. You haven't seen it in person, have you? Yeah, I actually have seen it. That's quite illegal. I expected better from him. Damn it. So, are we gonna drink it or not? Council regulations require me to confiscate it or force the owner to dispose of it. That doesn't steal anymore. He just sees his assets. It's a completely different thing. We'd be doing him a favor then. I suppose. Come on, dude. Che said it'd knock you flat. When you say you, do you mean me or you? Or just anyone who drinks it? Anyone. It's like 200% alcohol or something. That's not technically possible, but I'll admit my interest is peaked. Well, let's not waste any time. Like, damn it. This was a setup, wasn't it? Basically, you in? Fine. Oh, this looks deadly. Good thing dead people can't get alcohol poisoning. Hey! Good bureaucracy. The bureaucracy. It seems like a bad decision. Oh yeah. Yo, your orders arrived. 3 days late, mate. It got held up by a mutual acquaintance of ours. Shit, that explains why he's in my hair. I'll be there in half an hour. I hope that's not the end of episode 4 because I want to keep going. Fuck. But my poor voice is starting to crack. No. Okay. Well, we're finishing this tomorrow. I'm. Damn it. So, because American holidays are coming up, right? So I've got Thanksgiving, and then like starting Wednesday, I'm leaving. I'm leaving to go back to my family cross country. So I'm only working tomorrow and Tuesday. So my team can't expect me to be very productive, right? So we'll see if I can squeeze out like a particularly long stream tomorrow. I did want today to be a like a 4-hour long stream. The fact of the matter is my voice is fucking killing me. I can't reasonably continue. I'm sorry. The Catabass is considered to be a vital part of the hero's narrative. Every hero goes to hell at some point, and in the stories they usually come back, which is the bit that seems weird to me. I don't think that's how it works in real life. The cafe has had a bunch of heroes come through, claiming that they were going to conquer hell and come back, and never return, as far as I saw. The idea of Catabass is that in the grand scheme of things, hell, or the underworld, or Hades, or whatever you want to call it, anyway, it's on the outside of wherever we are. Like, we're trapped inside the sphere, and we leave it to go to hell. Did the ancient Greeks ever consider that maybe we've been on the outside the whole time, just waiting to get in? Maybe they did. Matter of perspective. I guess I'll ask one sometimes if I ever meet one. Or perhaps we're just waiting our entire lives for this, to pass through the firmament into the next place. To be drift with it, washed up on the shore of whatever that next place actually is. Seems weird, but maybe that's where we're naturally meant to be. I think it's possible that this word isn't some sort of proving ground or anything. Maybe it's just a waiting room. A beautiful, flawed, complex waiting room. Personally, I don't think there's any like heaven or hell waiting for us. No judgment either. The word doesn't ever operate in binaries or absolutes. That's just flawed human thinking, projecting things that are much, much more complex than they can ever perceive. And I don't think it's what's waiting on the other side. It's even something we can conceptualize. I bet it's cool. I bet it's a shame. It's a shame it's a one-way trip, though. Thank you, Philosopher Crabbot. For a little bit, I thought like, okay, but like, what if I had dinner and then just did another stream afterwards? But that's kind of a bad idea because like somewhere around here, I have to pack. So okay, man, I hope the afterlife is cool. Well, yeah, I hope it's fucking. We can go here. We can't go here. God damn it, man. Well, we will look out into this beautiful sunset. Sunrise? I don't know. Okay, so I now have to shuffle stuff around my schedule because I'm going to be finishing. Be finishing the main story of this tomorrow, hopefully. And that's pretty much all of the streams for the next week because I leave. I get on the plane. What? Oh no, uni. Yes, I am unfortunately ending the stream. I get on plane Wednesday and head back cross country, and I come back like Saturday, and I probably should not be doing a stream then. So we'll be finishing hopefully the main story of Necrobarista tomorrow. Probably 8 p.m. PST. I will take another look at my schedule and I'll post something to Twitter. Thanks for streaming. Yes, yeah, absolutely. And thank you all for sticking by this. This has been a beautiful experience. I fucking love it. I love every little bit of it. I mean, I think that was kind of all my announcements. So for me, you lovelies, this is Montesana, your favorite scholar. Thank you so much for the fun stream. Have yourself a good evening and goodbye.